Hello and welcome everybody. You should be able to hear me, you should be able to see me, which means that things are working, at least as much as they can be. I'm Jamie Saxon. I'm here for Asia Pacific. Octane Online Racing splits blue and red. We've got blue with us to start the night off at Hungaroring. Hope you are doing well. I've noticed, as always, that there's one thing that I haven't done it properly, which is to enable a full circuit map, so you can see what's going on there. Once the time hits, Viraga overselling my value a little bit, but I appreciate it nonetheless in chat. Thank you very much. So we've got 60 seconds, 50 seconds. It's just me here at the moment, but some of the other lads will be around a little bit later on. Hungaroring, obviously an exciting track. I was a sweaty boy last night trying to defend for a very long time here, and I enjoy this track quite a lot. I think it's a great one. So keen to see what we do tonight. Hello everyone who said hello, thank you very much. Moritz working hard at the moment, I appreciate that. Yeah, we should see some good racing. I would bring up the standings board, but I think there might be some bugs with it at the moment. Scote's been trying to fix up a lot of work. Scote is does a ridiculous amount of work making sure that all the tech that runs some of the things you see here every week are working. So it'll be exciting. Thraga praying for rain. I think so too. We had a really good wet race in Split Yellow. I enjoyed that quite a fair bit. Very tricky track to get right. Also, I had made a setup from scratch with not much time, so it's a little bit of a journey for me at least. The hamster out of control with a $50 donation. Thank you very much, the hamster. Your hello is well received. Broadcast to Braden Ross, who cannot see my screen, but can hear my voice. How are you doing today, Braden?
I am very good. How are you, Jamie?
Not too bad. You missed Hungaroring last night. Oh, and there is the huge donation. I don't know if you just saw it. The hamster threw it at $50.
Yeah,
what a
wow.
champ.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
It does actually go a long way to help fund all the things that need to be funded to keep these things running the way they are. So it is very much appreciated. Juzzy's got some good things to say about you. There goes the stream to a higher level, I assume is what he means.
Oh, absolutely. Juzzy only ever says nice things to me.
That's it. He was very complimentary last night when I, in one of the practice sessions, was ranked not last. So that was nice of him.
Have you upgraded your Discord, mate? Because this is looking very nice. 1080p, 60 frames per second. This is a treat for the commentary box.
Oh, I thought I'd always been using. I've been using that recently, a fair bit.
Well, I only just noticed then. But looks great. Looks great for me. It looks better for the people viewing because I suppose YouTube quality is just a bit better than what Discord can produce.
It's a bit mixed actually, which is interesting. But I do throw it up at like 20 Mbit. So I'm just like, just give it everything. And that way people should be able to get the best that they can.
Yeah, make that hamster work really hard.
That's it. That is it indeed. And yet, as always, the pitwall.live link is live. So if there's someone specifically that you want to catch on track and how they're doing, there's a good one to have up on a second screen or the like. Hungaroring, what's your views, Braden?
Great track. Really good track. The flow on the circuit is... It's just, I don't know, I suppose it's just really fun to drive around this circuit. Probably not as fun in the rain as I saw there was a bit of rain last night that I missed out on. As a dry track, optimal temperatures, it's really fun.
So you knowing me, know that I probably have a dim view of the chicane, and I don't like that chicane.
Is it another yeet chicane that you don't like?
It kind of is, right? Like you really send it over that super hard, and you know that the car's just gonna bounce around horribly, and you're just gonna hope that lap after lap it stays pointing the right way. So I don't really like the spirit and how that actually gets implemented, but beyond that, I think it's quite a good track. Really good track. And in the wet, I actually didn't find it too troublesome, although I did 360 at one point. because some of the green painted sections are very, very slippery, as you know.
Yeah, we did see last night there was a couple of people gassing it up a bit too hard on the AstroTurf in the wet, and it was causing a bit of chaos. So yeah, if we get a wet race this evening, watch out for that. Watch out for people who are a little too heavy-footed.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. In particular, I got done at turn 12. So coming into the last lap, it's that kind of 90-degree right-hander. And yeah, just carried too far. But yeah, very, very difficult to overtake on. I certainly defended for a long, long time. Although, my defense, I was just trying to go fast. Just everyone behind me was held up. But yeah, it's a really, really good one, and I think very reasonable on track limits as well. You can kind of push it, but not too hard. It just flows well. It works well for this format.
Yeah, unfortunately, wasn't able to race last night. It's just been a super hectic week for me in terms of real life things. So I had to kind of put sim racing to the side for a little bit. But it's Spa next week, and you best believe I'm going to be there.
Spa's going to be fun. What's your view on Spa's, Hobbsy? I see you snuck in as we start to get our first hot laps come through.
Evening, chaps. Spa. In terms of driving, good. In the Audi for me, yeah, nah, dead.
Oh,
yeah, good luck at Puon.
Puon's not the problem. It's Overuse that's the issue.
It is death. One thing I do want to point out as we start to see some lap times, and we'll go back to the Spa banter when we have our between race session. The track has only just ticked into optimum, so it was fast, and we know that optimum is kind of the commencement of the optimum window. It does get better and better. So not just with the drivers finding a little bit more pace, we'll actually expect to see right to the death some of those last laps be the best laps. So that's something to keep in mind as we see some times drop.
So we've just seen Gallo, first driver to dip into the 43s with a 43.7. Last night, I think the fastest qualifying time we saw was from O'Hara, which I believe was a 42.4. Don't expect to ever see that again, because that man's a freak. But I expect that we're going to be seeing low 43 for the pole position time.
It hurts a bit when your best is 145, right?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it goes with the optimum track. There's going to be a couple of drivers we see. Reynolds just coming up to 4/10 up in the Nissan. Excuse me. A little bit of time lost through there. See how much he can make up now that the track is optimum. 4/10 there. Losing a little bit of time on exit. Nissan's looking fairly controlled, just not quite the best on those corner exits. You can see losing a little bit of grip, not losing all the time though. Final corner. This is really deceiving. You run wide here, Kiskabite, all your time. Let's see. Loses a little bit of time though, a little bit slow through there. 3/10 going to put him up P3.
Yeah, just behind Alexander.
That P4.
As Gallo comes through, and there's some more kitching. He's on 7/10 up on his previous lap. It'll be interesting if some of the drivers find the extra grip that they didn't have the previous lap before. So it's a real gamble as to how much more you're going to push the car to every single corner than what you could last time. So I think this is going to be a fun one right to the death. More and more JP's just come through in P2 with a 143.2. Only just behind Bruno Gallo. Slightly lower. Once you can see 6 thousandths separates the front row right now, but I do not think the front row is done for.
I may have to eat my words here. I think we might dip into the 42s for this pole position.
I was going to say, I think you kind of spoke too soon.
A couple of tenths. I can tell you Bruno Gallo's already found one of them, so although he just lost it, so that's kind of ebbing and flowing. Just hovering ominously over Zach James. So he was on a little bit of a game, but seems to in that Jag. Not be quite finding it. Always big time to be gained cutting the chicane if you cut it a bit more than what you did last time and survive. Feels like he's kind of blowing backwards and forwards in his time gains and loss.
Having a look at that gap though. Could gain quite a few positions here if we can find some more time. 3/10, maybe up to 4 coming down here now. Let's see, 4/10 up. Oh, misses the curb a little bit. Still keeps his delta around 4 tenths up. So definitely, oh, can he get a good exit out of here? They went really wide, and that's lost him about 2 tenths at least. Let's see, final corner. Can he gain all the time back? No, he can't. Can't quite get the exit right. Will he gain any positions, or is he going to stay where he is? Stays where he is.
He's got one more. Let's have a look. The top end. So it is Sneakers with a 143.1 has taken pole for the moment. Blair has something to say about that. Already 2 tenths up very early in his lap. At the moment, no one else. Luke McCoy currently in P13. He's 4 tenths up as well, I can see. Charlie Mitchell in P24. He's 3 tenths. Gaining Adam Ferguson half a second. Currently in P22. Blair does drop some of that time that he'd gained so far. But hold on. Here comes Bruno Gallo. And he wants his pole back.
Yeah. Just about a third of the way through the lap now. Already 2 tenths up. Let's see if he can really push that Ferrari. It's one of the strongest cars around here. I know the Bentley is another very strong one around here, so it's definitely going to be a fight up front between these two. As we see qualifying over now, McCourt P4, 3.5 tenths off the front pace. That could be about to change. Oh, Gallo's looked a little scrappy. Loses about half a tenth. Just see if he can recover through here, get a good exit, use all of that track limit that he can. 2.5 up. So JP's in the pits, so this could be pole here if Gallo can hold it.
It could be a 142 as well.
Yes, I'd love to see Braden eat his own words.
Whatever, my words are delicious.
Yeah.
It's the reverse curse.
Oh, 4 tenths now. He's really on it. 4.5. Oh, lose a little bit on exit to see if he can gain it through the final corner. The idea here, just keep it tight. Get on the... Oh, lost the rear a little bit there. It's going to lose him time, but he's definitely going to get pole with this, and it's going to be a 42. What a lap.
That is huge. Bob, now, one of the McLarens, there was a question if there's any McLarens here. Pingu, there is one of them. He's only just made the very slightest of improvements, wasn't able to grab a position out of that. Ferguson coming behind in another McLaren, so a double for you. Finds a couple of tenths there just on one of the last corners, and a couple of tenths is more than a handful of positions, to be honest. That's all the way up into about P8, and gets a bit more on exit, 3 tenths. It's going from P15 up into P12.
12, yeah.
Yes, there's a bit of a silver lining to being a midfield driver. You can be on a lap and only be half a tenth up and think to yourself, oh, it's not great, it's only half a tenth, I'll take it though. Bam, 6 positions up.
Yeah, fantastic. So Gallo getting into the 142s does take pole from Sneakers. Madison and Kitching on the second row, McCourt and Blair third. Van Vliet and Ataniaki side by side in Porsches in the Pro-Ams. That's some excellent work there, as well as I have a hiccup moment.
But, have we touched on who has had a class upgrade?
We haven't. We haven't. Spill the beans. Share the news.
Well, I don't know if he's racing this race. I haven't seen his name. Andre Villanueva's been upgraded to Pro-Am from Am. I don't see his name. Oh, he's further down there in P25. And Matt Lamb, P10, there's just been upgraded to Pro this week as well. So very well done to both of them.
Yeah, you could kind of see that coming for Lamb. He's been floating around that top 5 pretty consistently the last few rounds. So he's definitely proved himself worth that Pro title.
Yeah, some outstanding performances by a number of drivers. So, and there's a couple more in red that we'll touch on later tonight.
There's one driver that's definitely going to roll up a few fans. I think Jamie knows what I'm on about.
We know. His time will come.
Know?
It's not yet, but it'll happen. So we see all the cars just probably go up and down. This angle's great for that as they ready up and they get dropped off their virtual jack stands. And we will get out for our warm-up lap.
You say jack stands? I think it's hydraulics. I think everyone on this grid's getting quite loco this evening.
Getting loco. That's not a phrase that I expected to hear tonight, but that's the spice that Braden brings. Let's have a look at this questionable safety car. I love this name is just car. Just car.
Yes, good old car.
It is.
It looks like one of the monsters from Monsters Inc. We're going to try and find it.
Are you thinking of Randall?
Nah, it's not Randall.
Nah.
I think it's like the guy who runs the facility. The supervisor.
Can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I think I know who you're on about.
With the multiple eyes.
I might be completely wrong. It might be that big monster from Lilo and Stitch. I don't know. I've got a character in my head, and that car looks like it. I know it's no help to anyone. I thought I'd express that.
I think if we ask the viewers what's in Braden's mind at any point in time, we'll get a variety of answers.
We're going to get a lot of answers.
Mr. Waternoose, not sure. I'm gonna. All right.
Yeah, look, it's the guy from Lilo and Stitch. What's his name?
I'm just gonna go incognito.
No idea,
because I'm not sure who Mr. Waternoose is. I want to make sure that I've not been stitched up. Right, yeah, with the crab legs.
Yeah, cool. That's not who I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's the guy from Lilo and Stitch. I don't know what his name is.
I mean, if I googled the guy from Lilo and Stitch,
I'd piss myself if Jamie got stitched up.
I'm disappointed and proud of you at the same time.
Steven's just made me question, does anyone know the reasoning as to why is the safety car 667?
It's just a bit safer. It's just a bit kinder.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm going to definitely believe that.
Because it's not the devil. It just does the devil's bidding.
Well, I was going to say, is it one more than the devil's number? Is that why it's 667?
It's his Padawan. It's his subordinate.
Of course I've seen Monsters Inc. Ryan Hooley. But do I know off the top of my head who Mr. Waternoose is? No. I mean, now, yes. Previously, no. Either way, we're going to go live. Braden, you got this?
Ah, sure, I can take this one. Gallo Sneakers. Filling out the front row, tailed by Madison and Kitching. Very fast times. McCourt's found himself up into a good position after qualifying towards the end of there. We've gone green, 20 minutes race. Looks like Sneakers has got the jump on Gallo. That was a fantastic start. Even Kitching is on him. Kitching is taking the position. He's got the outside line, though. He might lose this one. We're going 3 wide into the first corner. 4 wide, a little bit further back. Kitching is able to get the jump on Gallo. Gallo slots into P3. McCourt's had a pretty decent start as well, finding himself in P4. We've got an incident at the back involving Andre Villanueva. Not a great way to break into his Pro-Am career, unfortunately. So hopefully he can make a good recovery drive. As we're still going side by side, heading up to turn 4. It's a very ballsy place to be making a move on anyone up here. Someone's got to give. As we see the Porsche run very wide, slots back onto the track, doesn't lose any positions apart from the one to the Aston. We're going to see a little bit of Porsche on Porsche action here, I think.
Yeah, stewards are being very strict, I've noticed this week, with people abusing track limits and then potentially getting an overtake done. So they are asking people to redress in the race. If they do that, they will call your number out. Obviously,
nothing makes me happier than a redress.
Oh, I know, but you know, oh, there's a Honda. It's Simon Phillips. What's happened there? I'd like to have a quick look. No, Jamie's already 1 step ahead of me. So let's have a look. This chicane's a really tough one. Oh, he's just had to go off track and's been rear-ended. Yeah, righto. Not much else to say.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of an outbreak. He's taken to the exit, but somebody else has done the same, and it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. All in all, for this many drivers, and we do have 31 cars on track, not counting the safety car, that is not too bad at all. And I did have a chuckle to myself at how much lap 1 looked like a genuine GT3 race, with drivers, particularly in the first couple of corners, running well wide onto the runoff area, keeping the foot down and keeping it all going. Which is just... it's a very true-to-life sight, isn't it?
Sean Madison getting very close for comfort against Scott Blair here.
Does have to yield the position, but he's yielded too much.
Oh, a bit of a tap. Oh, that... oh, Don't really want to comment. I think that may have been on Lamb, though. Let's have another quick look. I've been a
Yeah.
steward in the past, but that means nothing when I'm commentating. My
It's a
brain
little bit
just goes out the window.
opportunistic.
Yeah, I'd like to still have a look, though. 'cause
Madison's yielded,
Madison gave in.
Yeah, in Lamb's defense, he's seen an opening and he's thought, I can slot myself in here.
Well, I'd like to see what the stewards think about that. I have my own opinions. I'm not going to share them, though.
Certainly, to my eyes, Lamb saw an open door, and it was well open. He's not much of a problem, but
Rules do state, though. Yeah, got to be side by side by mid corner, and I don't think he quite was there, but we'll see.
Yeah, but if you see a driver ahead that's made a mistake, surely you're entitled to try and capitalise on it. Obviously, the gap's just closed a little bit quicker than he expected.
We'll see. Interesting. I think I would have gone for it. Now, would I have been in the wrong? We'll find out if we see a penalty come through for Lamb later on, so whether or not I should take one of his moves. Let's have a look at this little pile here. We've got Ferguson, Sassana, McConnell, Vanderlei, Robert Shaw, all in there pretty tight. Even Nichols. This is a good old battle. Helicam very close on a track like this, so hard to get a great view of all the cars. Let's hover a little bit over McConnell.
Oh, Raggy's just waiting. I think he's going to wait for Sassana to attack on Ferguson, but excuse me, I'm sure he'd like to capitalise on getting past Sassana first because he's being held up. That's the reason. Sassana on Ferguson ahead. There's Mullock just ahead of them both in his Bontley. Oh, Raggy running a little wide around turn 2 there. It's a real tough one, turn 2. It's deceiving and goes from open to tight, so you've really got to know your lines to get a good run. Or a little bit of a overuse of the track limits there. I think it's going to be a warning for Sassana. Raggy, though, under attack from Vanderlei. I think he's just going to wait and just try and defend Vanderlei for now.
How do we feel about the fact that he yeeted no part of that chicane and in fact respected it? It's just
fantastic.
It's just not on.
I feel great.
Position.
I had yeah, got to do that in the Audi, so I respect him for that. The Lambo's just an Italian Audi, realistically. Oh, it's really up close, Jamie. You might want to jump up to that battle there. It's getting really close between Sassana and Ferguson. Oh, be interesting to see who makes the move first. Mullock's in his own little bubble at the moment. Doesn't have a lot of pressure from Ferguson, who's having to defend from Sassana. A lot of defending going on here. Also a lot of attacking. This is where Alexander just needs to use that to his advantage and pull away, which I'm sure he already knows.
Yeah, these 4 drivers need to be extremely careful as well, because there is a bit of a Constantina effect happening between the 4 of them. And that car at the back is going to be the one that's copying at the worst. So lifting and leaving space coming into corners is super important with these guys. They're getting very, very close.
I think I saw a very, very slight touch between Vanderlei and McConnell in the background. Not really enough to do anything too severe, but just a hint of a front to rear action. And it's going to be, I think it's interesting when we think about the move that we did see between Lamb and Madison. Hungaroring really does force you to force an opportunity in a lot of cases. So you will have to really pretty aggressively, by a lot of track standards, try and push up alongside and fight to get yourself some space in a corner and lead that to an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. You have no choice but to have close racing. You need to be racing properly around this circuit. It's not wait for the straight and get slipstream and get it done before the corner. As we see Vanderlei trying to find a way around McConnell still. McConnell is defending very hard, trying to hold that position for as long as he possibly can. Yeah, all of these drivers are going to be seeing P12 in their sights, which will inherit pole position for the next race for them, the reverse grid. So yeah, there's a lot to play for amongst these 4, 5 even.
Yes, indeed. And if it's like some of the other splits, a few penalties as well will add some spice. We're just staying inside the window. There's a bit of an off in the background. I didn't exactly catch who that was. Car 30 is involved. That's a number of cars off. What has happened here? And that does also explain there is car 666 in the race, which is why the safety car is 667. I think it's coming into turn 13 that a disaster may have struck. Oh, Lamborghini gets out onto the curbs and it kicks his car a little bit uncomfortably.
Yeah, so that Jaguar's just had to slow down a little more than usual because it was taking the inside line of that corner.
Oh,
I don't think the Lamborghini catered for it with their wide line. They were able to carry a lot more speed coming into the corner, but there was a Jaguar in the way.
Yeah, I think some of the cars just get very, very edgy on the curves, and you do want, in your car setup, you want a fair bit of curb compliance for Hungaroring because you're running them on practically every corner. But that one in particular can really catch you out. Because I feel like, and maybe this is just me, it feels like the curbs all through Section 2, you can attack pretty hard, but Section 3 is not quite the same. And you can actually start to really come to grief, as we saw. Either that, or just a little bit too happy on the loud pedal. Disaster struck. Chris Vining reckons it was one wheel on the grass. I thought it was just on the curb, but you might be right. And a wheel on the grass would absolutely do it. It just kicked his car around. And that's all she wrote. Let's jump back down here. Now,
Following along with Neil Alexander, this man will be a kid in a candy shop right now. Not only does he love driving the Bentley, but this is one of his favourite tracks, if not his favourite circuit. So he's going to be absolutely loving life at the moment.
I thought his favourite circuit was Paul Ricard.
No, it's Brands Hatch for sure.
Oh, of course, yes.
so when he messaged me today with some updated graphics, as he does every week, it was just hello train conductor. Based on last night's race. Well, last night's race, and I had like 10 people.
It was
stuck behind me
the whole time that I tuned in. He was like, "Jamie Saxon, you are the conductor."
Mate, my setup was not feeling good for that. And a few times I was just drifting the whole way around a corner, but that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that until you potentially put in a wall.
Well, I did not put it in a wall, but where I did put it was P13, which is not pole for reverse grid.
It's correct, it's not. And I saw you and I was very scared you were going to steal it from me with my 15-second penalty.
That's what we call first of the losers.
I was very
yeah.
I was very annoyed. But there was some great racing, and that's what we come for.
So we're seeing some penalties come through now. The gears are turning in the steward's office. Raggy, 15 seconds.
Mate, how disgusting.
It is indeed. So he may not be the only one, but time will tell. We're on board with Ashlyn Reynolds right now in the dive bomb Datsun, and this is a track for dive bombs, to be fair.
It is, especially, excuse me, down into turn 1 here. This is where, if you've got those better brakes, you can really utilise them. As we see Nissan much later on the brakes than that Aston, although the Porsche does have the best brakes. So I think Van Vliet's just going to hold position for now in front of Lamb, as he is, what's that, 4.1 off Madison. So he's got a fair gap to Madison ahead. He can really just open that Porsche up, try and get his race pace consistent and all of that. So Lamb's just really going to need to attack. I think Van Vliet can keep himself under control for now. Lamb just needs to start worrying about Reynolds. And here is Reynolds, right on the rear of that Aston, a little bit wide there. By looks from Van Vliet, gets a good exit though. Reynolds wide, that's close to a warning, still on the curb. Ooh, going to abuse all of the... Oh, that's a bit of a rough one. That's definitely lost some time there.
Yeah, you can
Might
see
work out a little bit better for him though, because it kind of seems like Reynolds has a bit more pace than the two cars up ahead. So if he can create some space at the right spot and then get a slipstream at the right spot, put himself into a good position, he might be able to get an overtake somewhere. I suppose with two cars ahead of him though, it makes it a bit harder. Just kind of holds out for them to collect each other. But Lamb and Van Vliet may not do so.
Might have another look at that, because I want to see. I didn't get a great view. How much of an overlap did Lamb have? Or it does back out a tiny bit.
Back out of it, yeah. Or else he just spun Van Vliet around. That'd have been a huge 15-second penalty coming his way, but just nice and sportsmanlike, just backs out, waits for another opportunity. He's put himself into the hands of Reynolds, though. Reynolds going to take full advantage of that. Oh, Lamb deep. Brings it back. Very, very good at that. Really handling that Aston well. Just see a couple of cars behind. Looks like that's Atanyaki and Alexander a little further behind. So we'll see what happens with that train further back if it closes up. But we're going to focus on this train for now. Looks like it might have been another track limit warning potentially there for Lamb. Went a little bit wide around turn 3. And now really under pressure from Reynolds. Made that mistake through turn 4 there. I'll get my words out. Now around turn 5. Coming into 6 and 7. Really needs to use all that curb, especially in a front engine car. Turn 8 now is really tricky. You've got to go a lot slower than you think here. Just coast most of the way around. Coming around now to, this is turn 9. I'll find it, or 10. It's one of them. I think it's turn 9. And then round down here into turn 10. Porsche looks really stable. Lamb just making a few little mistakes. Turn 11 now. This is where you can lose or gain a lot of time. Reynolds gaining that time. Lamb just losing that to Van Vliet. Now turn 12 or 13.
It is worth pointing out.
I'm just wondering where you've deleted 2 corners of the circuit. Isn't there 14?
14 is there 14? Oh, whoopsies. That's fine. It's somewhere.
It is worth saying, so Sneakers has just picked up a 10-second penalty as he did a purple lap with a 1:42 888. So, still, he's going to have a fair bit of work to try and mitigate that 10 seconds. Oh, what has happened here?
Whoa, I just found out what Sinix is penalty for, but I'd like to look at this first, and then I'll tell you. Oh, a little deep. I just didn't quite catch this because I was away looking at the penalty. And that's coming across Reynolds side by side. Oh, looks like it might be a fault of his own there. Looked like he turned into Reynolds a little bit there. But surely... Oh, he's still off track too. Ran P21 now. This is not a great race for the 2 promoted drivers. Lamb in P21 now, and Villanueva down in P25. So not great so far. That 10-second there for JP is for jumping the start.
Yeah, I figured that might be the case. He had such a good start. As soon as I saw it come through, I assumed maybe that was it, because he hasn't tussled with anyone since. Very interesting.
Yeah, so with only 4 minutes left to go, this is going to put him down to about 6th or so. Unfortunate, but them's the rules.
Them's the rules.
Unless he can start busting out some 140, which doesn't seem that likely.
Well, you never know.
Find some extra horses under there.
Last 2 laps, we've seen Van Vliet come through that last corner, and the rear of his Porsche is looking extremely loose. Not too sure if he's
you do realise it is a Porsche.
Yeah, but surely that's not part of the meta of the Porsche.
Oh, look, it's probably not.
I'll tell you what I have noticed in chat: the brewing of an epic race. I think we're going to see Emily Kate Shafley and Janice Tully in season 7.
What a race! What a race!
Yeah, get in here.
They've both admitted that they've done races, so they need to get in.
I'd love to see it.
That would be something special.
I'd love to commentate it.
Oh, mate, I'll be in there all day.
It's on. Philippa says that stable Porsches are not fast. If you don't feel like you're about to die, then you're not doing it right.
That's correct.
Oh, it's Robert Shaw.
In the wall. That's not what you love to see.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Ooh.
Okay. It's fine.
Breathe.
Everything is fine.
Just caught too much of that second bit of the curb, lost the rear, and kiss.
There we
Back
go.
it up,
We don't need to watch the
Reverse.
reversing maneuver again. Oh, an endurance team, says Dan Hunter.
Oh, even better.
I love it.
That definitely should do 8 hours of Misano. That would be just. I'd love to see that team.
Look, if there's not a spot, we will make one. We'll find a way.
Yeah, we will.
In the meantime, this is still for what is now P123 with Sneakers' 10-second penalty, although he is still chipping away at that, but he doesn't have long left, only a couple of minutes. McCourt, you can see through the heavy loading of what that's turn 3 is the cars just bounce around a fair bit. It's an interesting one in terms of trying to get the setup right, because there is some slower speed corners. You need the ability for the suspension to roll out to get some grip over the outer tyres, but the faster ones, you want it to be a bit stiffer. Hold the car a bit flatter, so compromises to be made as always. I feel like Kitching now is just, he knows he just needs to keep it safe and stable and stay inside that 10-second window, which is, short of a massive mistake, is exactly what's going to happen. But do you think...
Just coming into the closing stages of the race, we're about to come on to the final lap. Tanekas still only about a 4-second lead, 3.5 to 4-second lead over Kitchen, so that 10-second penalty is going to hurt. Unfortunately, 20 minutes is not enough time to be able to break out a 10-second gap to these drivers.
No, it's a bit unfortunate that this is, of course, the consequences of doing bad start, jumping many lights, yes. I couldn't think of the words there, so we'll go with that.
Oh, it's no, Gallo!
Oh, no! That is, that's devastating, and I can probably see a post-race penalty coming through for that one, which, on track and via penalties, McCord is going to inherit the win of this race.
Yeah, that's it. So Tharaga wanted a McCourt podium. Mate, you've got it in spades, short of the most heinous commentator's curse possible. We don't have the heart to do that. Scott Blair sees a window open like no other. He will be jumping himself up to a provisional P2 now as well. Though he does need to stay inside the 10
close to the 10-second margin, though. He's going to need to drive pretty hard to make sure he doesn't fall out of that. The Sneakers could possibly still be on the podium at this rate.
That's it. So a lot of that is kind of academic, given that penalties are really going to play that one out. So we'll see what happens with this pair, Van Vliet Reynolds. Reynolds has had a number of laps to try and find where he thinks he's got a chance, and it's only a handful of corners left. You wouldn't really want to bank on a final turn drag race to the line. The line is very close to the turn. So it's kind of now or never.
The leader has finished the race.
And he is trying it. He's at least going to try for a later apex. It's something. See if he can get a tiny bit more drive and be in a position to attack for turn 14, but it just doesn't seem viable.
Oh, there we go.
Gallo.
Gallo got a 15 just at the end there, so I think that... Oh, no! Oh, shit.
They both crossed the line.
Backwards.
Don't go back too long.
Just made it.
I have no idea what to make of that, to be honest.
I gotta watch it again. Oh,
I think that's got to be one of the most eventful 20-minute races we've had, especially for a reverse grid.
I don't think I've ever seen a car finish in reverse. I don't know.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
It was probably the most efficient way for him to do it. Like, it would have taken longer to turn around.
Yeah, that's what I would have done, to be honest.
It's where you hope he's got a manual clutch. Did the other Porsche take the spot? Princey, yes, he did. And it did look like he slowed down to try and see if he could yield the position, to be fair. But he did end up keeping it.
No, there was a second... Oh, no, he did take it. So that was Reynolds.
So
after the line, it's taken the Porsches... You know what? Because I think the line, I suppose, would register the front of the car as finishing the race. And
So-
I believe the rear of the car touched the line first before the Porsche went through. But the Porsche had been and gone by the time the front of the car had passed the line.
Right, so that was an eventful final lap, that's for sure. Maybe not the way we'd like to see. We'd like to see it through good, clean racing, not small incidents. I will say there was nothing particularly malicious about that. The Porsche of, I think it was Van Vliet, just trying to hold his car, and sometimes ACC gets a little bit sensitive when they touch each other. But in the end, McCourt does take the win. Snakis holds on to P2, which is outstanding. Blair, as you pointed out, Braden, wasn't quite looking to be inside that 10-second window, and indeed he was 7/10 shy. Madison holds on to a P4. Kitching Gallo 6th after picking up his 15-second penalty. Then please, Reynolds. Atanayaki must have just wondered what the hell he is driven up on.
Yeah, wouldn't mind to have seen an onboard of that, but I think it's a little bit too late to see that.
Look, can I? No, I can't. I can only replay this current session, and I don't really want to quit out.
That's okay.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, something happened.
Got a feel for Kitching, though. That's now 2 weeks in a row where a podium has been taken away from him towards the closing stages of the race.
That's it. And Philippa, a stable Porsche doesn't do that. That is correct, right? That is...
Look, that's correct. But, stable Porsche equals slow Porsche. And I had an experience the other week. This is true. Philippa can vouch for this. I drove one of her setups on Paul Ricard. Nah.
Was it stable?
Stable. No, not at all. No, absolute garbage.
Was it consistently unstable?
Yes.
Consistency is key.
Oh, it was consistently it's fast, but consistently unstable.
There you go. Well, that is something indeed. Oh goodness. Not sure what to think of that race. There was some great moments, but it really is. When you're on the final corner and you're ahead, you don't need to do anything too much. It feels like Van Vliet, feeling the pressure a touch too much, did light up the rear of the car, and he didn't need to. Just hold your inside line, hold your apex. He's not getting through. He can't go around you in time. You'll be fine. And I think that's a lesson that he'll learn from this race.
I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned after race one, so I think people will... Well, I think hopefully people will try and be a little bit more considerate on lap one and just try and learn from their mistakes and just prevent penalties.
I'm not sure I'm bored with what's going on in chat. I think Philip is being deified at the moment. She's become omnipresent.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is... That's relatively concerning, I guess.
Yeah.
She's always there. Always. Hey, if you're in a race car, she knows.
Yeah, she knows the car you're in and the laps you're doing and the setup you're probably using.
When you send it into a wall, she knows.
Yeah, so
Yep.
the last couple of months has been a couple of times where I've approached Bokita and said I'm slow, and word for word I'll say, Bokita, I'm slow. Come tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah,
she'll
we've all
jump in
done
and she'll
that.
tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong, and she'll sigh and she'll scoff at a lot of the stuff that I do. She doesn't like some of the stuff I do, but that's just because I'm an amateur and she's not.
And then you start up the sim and show her you're driving.
Yeah.
So you just show her your workplace safety. No, that's not how you do that, mate.
Yeah, no, Hamster, you've got that exactly right. Anytime I ask Philippa, what am I doing wrong? It's you're not driving fast enough. That's exactly what she says, and I'm not kidding.
It's good life advice. Just be faster.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know.
In all things, be faster. Either way, who is being faster? Look at this segue. It's Matthew Lamb. So obviously had a couple of moments in the first race, and he'll be looking to mitigate that as much as he can through this second race by qualifying well. And at the moment, he's a good 4/10 up on P2 and the better part of 5/10 up on his current pole position time. This is a optimum track all the way through, so it won't be quite like last session where we saw a constant improvement to the end.
Ooh, can he gain a bit more time? Just get that 42. That would give him a little bit more of a hope for the race if he can just find those 7.5 tenths that he needs. Don't think he's going to find it. 5 and a bit tenths up though. A little bit wide there. So not going to find that 42, but still very good time. 43.2, nearly a 1. So it's very good indeed.
We've got Bob now. He's 2/10 up. Does keep his car just inside the track limits at turn 3. Turn 4 going to cut the hell out of that curve. Not too much actually. Take even more of that if you're brave and you've got a car that can do it. Interesting, managing the rotation through the long turn 5. Yeet of the chicane. No! Respects the chicane almost entirely. And subsequently loses a quarter of a second.
That was like it just dives straight into the red. We celebrate your honesty, but we feel for the pain that comes with.
I think that was just a break too late. He's had to try and recover it. Neil Wood is on a bit of a run in his Audi. Picked up 4.5 tenths so far. So car 24 is off. That is Matthew Lamb. So I think he might have invalidated and said, you know what, I'm happy with a 1:43.2. And mate, I would be too by a long margin, but he's quicker than I am. So there you go. Neil Wood a little bit squirrely through the chicane, as the Audi is wont to be. But he's still half second up, and that is some good gains.
Still finding time. Doesn't want to find too much time though, because he'll find the rear end of the car ahead.
I'll tell you what, in the chat, I think Emily and Janice are now picking up Philippa, and they're pitching to get Mia in on their Enduro team, which is sounding a lot more concerning now.
Yeah, I think we should all be concerned.
Yeah,
some people see it as recruiting more ladies, but other people like me see it as you're recruiting the fastest drivers, so you still win. That's not fair.
You got to do what you got to do. Neil Wood, though, what he has done, it's a beautiful segue, is put himself up into 11th of this second qualifying. But Roldan is coming through half second up himself in the Honda. Gets himself just inside the 143s. I think he'll be reasonably happy with that. He is. He's parked it. He's run out of time to do another lap anyway, but you know, I feel like it's more of a celebration. Nichols, though, in the Jag. He's on some good gains. 4 tenths, 4 and a bit. Good disrespecting of the chicane. And we're off.
Would it be fair to say that Nichols has been the best Jag driver this season?
I mean, he's stuck with it. Is Mia still driving the Jag?
He's got wins
Mia's
as well.
in the Nissan.
Ah, traitor.
He has wins as well.
He's got 1 win at Imola, correct?
Look, I think he's setting himself up for a mid-pack to first place dash. He's just going to touch into the 143s on this time. Bub now is a bit ahead of him. Bub now is about to go through with a 3 tenths gain. So it'll jump him from the P5 that he's currently in into P4. Couldn't quite get a touch further. Nichols has lost a tenth or so in the last little bit there, but still jumps him up to P5. Who is left and on again? I don't think there's any. Honor is going to have to absolutely send it through the final corner if he wants to get much more, and send it he is. He's picked up a little bit of time. Unfortunately, he's going to need about 3 tenths out of nowhere, which doesn't seem likely, but he gave it a red hot go. McConnell will be, I think, the last across the line. He would only need the tiniest amount of time, but there's a slight non-improvement. So there you go. Lamb, Vanderlei, Roldan, Bubnell, Nichols, McConnell into the top 6. All within a second, and some tight gaps all the way through the field.
Just want to point out that quick little apology that Bruno has put into the in-game chat. kitching for their incident last race. That's nice that he's just put himself forward and said, "My bad."
And it is one of the things as well, especially in sim racing, it is a bit harder to get that depth perception of exactly where they are and what they're doing, and sometimes the collisions are a bit interesting, and so I think there might be a combination of things there. But I can say, as most of us know, anyone who's raced it, and as you can imagine, after each of the races, there's usually a flurry of messages between drivers apologising for what might have happened. They know they made a mistake, and they want to convey to the other driver that it was all unintentional, and they feel bad about that. So the sportsmanship, Shafley, as you say, is exactly what it's about. Volcanic asking if you restart. Yes, no, race 2. So race 1 was a 20-minute race, and this is a 40-minute race 2. Reverse grid from race 1 of the top 12, and then everyone else did a second qualifying.
Lockie Henderson, 20 seconds ago, you're a disappointment.
Mate, you're a disappointment, Lockie, because it's a reverse grid. I was just
wait
talking
till we
about
pass the first sector.
I was just talking about a reverse grid. He's going to be right up at the top. Yeah, right, yes. Don't you go delete your messages, though, right? That chat log stays for eternity. Scholars will look back at the time that Lockie Henderson tried to have a go at Scout and it didn't work out. But there'll be many opportunities to trash talk Scout. That's fine.
The midnight at Misano, not too far off. Only a couple of weeks out now.
About 2.5 weeks away, which is good. Good to see you participating, Braid.
Yes, I am. I hear Jamie Saxon here is doing a 2-man for the 8-hour race.
Yo, really?
Yep. And I'm gonna.
I wish you all the best. I did a 2-man for the 9 hours at Kyalami, and my feet were absolutely toast after that. My ankles were so sore, I needed a day of bed rest afterwards. So, good luck to you and your old man brittle bones.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what your calcium intake is like, but I'm sure it's not enough.
It's probably not.
Even I'm doing a 3-man. I could never do a 2-man, and I'm like a third of your age, Jamie.
You are.
Yep.
But I'll have you know that I'm in worse shape than you think. So it is going to be hard. No. Sometimes I get it because I just like racing, right? Like I like the driving in a race. And all of my best lap times usually come late in a stint.
I was going to say, why are you so bad at it then?
Because I don't practice. Right? That's the first reason. And then there's a number of others. But I will be disappointing Oliver Shoesmith as my partner for 8 hours. But no, I think it'll be quite a lot of fun. I think Misano's a really tricky track, but I enjoy it. It's the first time I've driven the McLaren, and it's pretty nice actually.
Yeah, it is a nice car to drive now that I'm starting to get a handle on it. Get this though, right? So I was talking to my partner about the next endurance race, and she's like, "Oh, what is it, Mike? Oh, it's an 8-hour race." And she goes, "That's not too bad." And I'm like, "What do you mean it's not too bad?" She goes, well, your last one was 24 hours. And I'm like, that is so much better. Like, the more hours, the better. Are you serious? She does an endurance race. She doesn't get it.
She doesn't yet, until Janice and Emily Kate start messaging her. Be like, right, we've got a team going.
I'm just looking forward to disappointing the man in chat, Dan Hunter, and my other teammate, Bax Hopkinson. I'm really looking forward to disappointing them.
I'd love to see it.
Oh, I'll toss up quali or something. I don't know.
It's going to be some good fun. And I'm going to do the race with the lights off as well, because otherwise I just get too much glare off everything. But it really adds to the immersion, and I think this sim looks outstanding at night time. So,
for your sake, Hobbsy, I hope the race goes well for Dan. I hope his stints go well, because the man can drive. When he drives angry, he drives really well, unlike a lot of other drivers.
I know. I think I need to bully him mid-race to get him angry.
It's hard to keep him calm. You gotta know how to deal with the man.
Oh, I'm gonna deal with him for a whole 8 hours. Don't worry.
Look at these guys try and get themselves in the right grid order.
Oh, this is great. This is move to the left, Sean, or Reynolds.
I think the stewards are just trying to sort them out. But they're not going slow while they do it, but they'll get there. It'll be good.
One more formation lap.
Yeah, one. Yeah, can we do another formation lap?
Might need it. But this is you, Hobbsy.
All me, righto. Game on. Sasana on for pole. Ferguson P2. Mullock there in P3. Good to see. Reynolds there P4. Atanyaki P5. Van Vliet P6. Gallo P7. Kitching P8. Madison P9. Blair, Sneakers, and McCourts. Let's get this race underway in a minute.
It's a great launch by Sasana already.
Yeah, and we're away now. Oh, good launch there from Mullock. I think he's going to look to inside of Sasana. Could he get the dive? Oh, he looks for it. There's a Ferrari that's just absolutely centered down the inside. I think that's Gallo. That was really well played. Could have caused an incident there. Oh, there's a Merc round, and it's killed the Honda, and that's definitely going to be a safety car.
Yeah, that's absolutely disaster.
Why is it me? I always call these stupid freaking races, and it's always a safety car. Are you taking the piss?
And
always me.
That is a safety car. So let's go back. Let's try 30 seconds. Should be about right. Luke McCourt definitely got caught up in this. So he's the Mercedes in the middle. Just that double tap. And then he's around. And they go like Skittles. Including a Bentley driving face on into another car. So in the end, there's quite a number of damaged vehicles there. A couple teleported back to pits. Robert Shaw is one of them. So he gets out of that. Car 667 is the safety car. Like, why is there a yellow car in the middle?
Oh, come on, mate. I expect better from you.
And yeah, well, we got the answer as well. It's the 667
well,
because there is a 66 car. Although he's not in this race anymore. I can't remember who it was.
Well, no, it's always been 667. It's been 667 since I joined.
666 was Jeffries.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go. Right, so
We've got a car around at the rear.
oh no,
Car 17.
where's this?
It's Villanueva.
What did he do?
No.
I mean, I've
Has
done these moves a couple of times.
Has he tapped? What's happened? Oh, he's
Oh, he
just...
shut the engine off.
Oh, no.
He's only lost one position, so it's not all that bad.
It might have,
so
that might have been a
gonna-
steward's telling him to give that position up as well, potentially.
Look, quite
Possibly.
possibly, but... it's
so
time to get back onto the pack.
we're about to get picked up by the safety car, and just going back to what I was saying at the start of the night, safety car looks like a monster from Lilo and Stitch. His name is Jumba Jukiba, which is an unfortunate name because I really wanted to rename the safety car that, but that's crap. So we're not going to do that.
Can't do that. That's rubbish.
Don't you name shame a fictional character from Lilo and Stitch.
Someone was super creative with thinking of that
Right,
name.
they put something into that. How do you feel if you're this guy right now? If you're Neil Alexander, what's going on in that mind?
Gallo. He's thinking about Gallo at the moment right now.
I wouldn't be concerned about Sasana. He's quick, but I think he's got his fingers crossed that Sasana can hold up Gallo. But I think he's going to worry more about the race restart and everything. Bentley's not the best off the line in comparison to the Porsche, and the Fez is a bit near as well. So Sasana's probably at an advantage here. I'm not looking forward to calling that because I know that there's probably going to be another incident. But, you know,
so there was an open door, a real opportunity for you to say what you think goes through Mullock's mind, right? I was going to go with the stupid, sexy Flanders. Is that's what's in his head?
No, I was
time?
actually going to tell you what was going through his head. What else is probably going through his head? That's a really good-looking safety car. I'm the best Bentley driver in the world. I love Hungaroring. Well, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. He might be a bit more of a Homer Simpson character, and what's really going through his head is da 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 da. Hey, da 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 da.
That I like to believe, but now at least will be the focus time. So as we see the drivers start to get some tyre pressure back in, get the heat up. Only kind of 21 ambient, 26 track, which I think is a little bit cooler than what it was last race as well. Might be of note. With single file start, he knows he has control of the race now. He is looking to actually do it quite slow and to back everyone up a little bit here, which is, I think, sensible. He's already on
gone
the gas.
for it. Oh, that was a risky one there. Done it, though. Gallo's got a good run. back here now. Sasana's going to have to move to the inside, I dare say. Not that I can see what the hell he's doing. There we go. Oh, big train there. Malik, good start. Gallo definitely going to come down the inside. Sasana's got the brakes, but so is Gallo by the looks of it, trying to play it safe there. Sasana, Nissen down the inside back there. That's Reynolds. James right on the back of this pack here. 2 Porsches. That's Van Vliet and Vanderlei on the move now. As we see this train all too wide at the back there. That's who is
I think
that?
that was Keen and
Keen and Roldan or someone. Keen and Phillips. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Do you see now James coming up to the back of Sean Bubb now, who's just looking for the rear of Raggy.
Go. Bot is dead. No, I can turn the safety car graphic off as well, which I have done now. There is no safety car. There is only racing.
Professional.
Racing there is as well, as we sit inside the mind of Zach James. He's got Bub now just ahead. He's got a fair bit of a gap behind, so he can really try and push. Rear end of the car, just getting a tiny bit loose there. Had to wait before he could get on the gas. I think he's having to really feather on the brakes to make sure he doesn't just plow into the front. It feels like he wants to hit it harder. There's a car off, and there's a big old incident. You can see James manages to duck around on the inside.
Aston's at Lamb again.
Oh,
Lamb
no.
and Nyaki possibly.
Yeah, it looked a lot worse than what it possibly was. Only 2 cars involved, but I think there was a bit of a scurry for people to try and get around and avoid it.
Oh no, so Lamb, he's outbraked himself and he's taken out.
Oh, that's going to be a huge pan. Is that at Nyaki?
It is, I think.
No.
Yeah, he's dropped all the way down the order, so it absolutely was.
Oh, that's really
not Lamb's
unfortunate.
night. Not Lamb's night at all.
I've done that. I've been that person before, and it's you feel pretty bad. We do have Zach James just trying to hold off Bob now. I think just before he was trying to grab that position, so he has taken it in through turn 1. So nicely done. He's got some clear air ahead. He needs to close up a gap. This big old train there.
He is the conductor.
Hell, we may have the overall race conductor at some point here. See, from the back of Alexander, he's got Gallo hounding him, and he will be hounding him every single second so they can find an opening. Gallo very, very quick in the Ferrari, a very, very quick car here.
Just appreciating that the A and E on the back of Malik's car, obviously a reflection of the 96.
Oh, yes.
That's a good point.
The something 9. No, that's not even. That just doesn't look right as a whole.
I'll go with the A and E.
The A and E, yeah.
I don't know, AA, adult entertainment, I suppose.
I was going to say
That's something
accidents
that
and
Malik's
emergency.
into.
Ooh, okay.
Isn't that in the UK? That's accidents and emergencies.
Yeah, accidents and emergencies. That's where you
Well-
go. It's what we just call the emergency department here in Australia, and you know, Muller could end up there if he gets turned by Gallo, but they're both very clean races, so don't expect that to happen. Kitching though, got Madison behind. Madison's going to play the patient game. You know what how he drives, and he's very, very clean, very patient. Usually, just sometimes if he has a lapse in concentration, that's when things can go tits up. You see Sanikas in front there trying to catch up to that Blair, Reynolds and Ferguson by the looks of it.
You're rolling with tits up, are you?
Oh, look, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else to say. That's usually what I say.
No, that's great.
Need to think of something more.
I want you to say it more. Add it to Hobbsy Bingo.
Is there a bingo for me now? Is there?
Oh, they'll create one. The other thing that'll be on there is...
Yeah, just the sound. not even words. Just
Not worth words. As we get a car just dip into the grass there on the outside. On board with Madison at the moment, trying to hunt down Kitching. Good luck doing that. Kitching is one of the fastest drivers in the field. However, Nissen is quite strong around this circuit, isn't it?
He seems to be able to take these curves.
Strong.
It feels like he can take these curves very, very comfortably. And if you can do that, then the track is quite kind to you. doesn't really seem to phase the car at all, hitting them. Oh, what has just happened there? That will be what's going through his mind. I'm going to have to go back and have a look at that because that was
Yeah,
a
I'd love
little
to see
bit
what that was.
of a debacle. So it's Scott Blair in the Ferrari, JP in the Bentley. Oh,
Someone ticked that off, Jamie. Bingo. Debacle. There it is.
that is a debacle. So that was, what was that, the McLaren of Ferguson, it must have been? Just tapped Reynolds. And then it all just, yeah, went a bit sideways.
Ooh, Madison. Right on the back of Sinekas now. He's going to look to the outside. Maybe a switchback possible. He's just going to play it more patience. Got Kitching behind, not applying a lot of pressure at the moment. Reynolds in front, so there's currently a Nissan sandwich here for Sinekas. And might be in a little bit of trouble. Madison going wide there. Still half an hour to go. Anything can change. A bit of a pack there behind. Who's that? Must be Scotty Blair by the looks of that.
What? No Chill McGee in the chat, doing his best to chat curse Mullock, claiming he's going to take a win.
He's not going to win now that you've said that.
I mean, there's still about 29 minutes plus a lap to go in this race, and he's got Gallo only 5/10 behind him. So he's going to have to put on an absolutely stellar performance of defending to be able to keep that position from Gallo.
And they say Hungaroring. Oh, that looked to me like Reynolds was drifting a little bit more than what he would like through, what was that, turn 9? Turn 11, rather. So they say it's very hard to overtake and it's easy to defend. I can tell you I was sweating after trying to defend for that long. It is hard work to keep someone, especially if they're very quick behind you, for that long.
Yeah, I think if we jump ahead to the leaders, we'll see Gallo take a position from Mullock.
Oh,
He's very close.
I think Mullock knows that he can just hold his line here, to be honest. But he is looking, and I think any opportunity he will take it. He knows. I think Gallo, I wonder if after last race, in his mind, he knows, I have 4.5 seconds to the car behind me. I don't need to force this too much. My chance will come. I will take it, and then I'll be clean. I do not need to get a penalty. I do not need to get damage or anything else like that. I'll just keep the pressure on and it'll be okay. That's what I hope's going through his mind, because I feel like that's the sensible play, but as we all know, we don't always make the most sensible decision in the heat of a race. As we see, Reynolds has had to go into pit. Now, keeping in mind there are no pits required this race, which means that either his car is not working well enough for him, too much damage, something has occurred.
Yeah, possibly underfueled as well.
Underfueled is definitely possible if they've accidentally gone out on a qualifying stint. That could definitely happen. Been that occur every now and again.
I dare say if it was a fuel issue, we probably would have seen him jump into the pits a little bit earlier. Just to get out of traffic and just try and capitalise on the clean air that he has ahead of him, because pit stop's going to take just as long as it needs to take, no matter when he does it, so he may as well get it over and done with at the start.
It sounds like he had a PC crash or a game crash. That's unfortunate. He was in a good position and it's a good old track, so who knows what could have come of it, but what will be will be. Let's have a look down a little bit further down the order, because there's a bit of a train here, although as I say that it starts to open up a little bit. So above now you can see James ahead, and Ferguson is not too much further down that line either. And deep behind we can actually see Honor. It's got a big old train behind him. I'll touch on that in a second, as well as McLaughlin has his own train. Just has to bide his time a little bit, does Bub now.
So Madison has definitely proved me wrong as well by taking that position from Kitching. And is now on the hunt for Sinekas.
Yeah, both of them I think have been involved in various taps. So might be affecting them a little bit more, or it might have been a minor mistake. JP starting to get himself a bit of fresh air, so he'll just be able to hot lap and try and close down Sasana.
Also, Gallo has taken the lead from Neil Alexander, already a second the margin, so I dare say that looks like Neil Alexander has possibly made a mistake somewhere along the way.
Yeah, because I was keeping an eye. We've gone back 30 seconds in time and he'd already taken that position. So it must have happened a little bit further before. But yeah, I would suspect a mistake, as you say. So sorry, at the start of that lap, Gallo was about a half second behind, which is not too much, obviously.
Okay, so Julian chat saying that chicane that lap he just missed it apparently, or we've just missed it.
Haha.
Yeah, we jumped back and we had just missed the overtake. The chicane, what a place to overtake. Not your first choice, but it can be done. Lamb picks up a drive-through penalty. I dare say that'll be for track limits. Actually, possibly even the incident that we saw early on with the locking of brakes, the late braking, and just trying to yeet across the grass to try and find a gap between cars to not hit anyone.
Let me catch this again. This is Gus Sanson. What happened? Okay. Okay, yeah. Just went a little bit wide and then a little bit too much power and he over-rotated the car a touch, but didn't lose any positions or anything like that, so we're all good. I've got Villanova. Chase down Neil Wood. Audi a little bit squirrely. You can kind of sense the kind of, not angst, the agitation that Wood has. He's kind of poking his nose around, trying to see if there's any opportunity opening up from McLaughlin ahead. Maybe there is right now. Not quite. You need to just get just that bit further alongside. It's one thing to get kind of your front wheel alongside their rear. But you need a bit more to really be deserving of the space that you need to try and execute a move through that windy section. Although, again, McLaughlin just over-rotates the car. Oh, no!
And Neil Wood over-rotates McLaughlin a little more the next corner. The big gaggle toward just behind Villanueva as well. He's going to want to break away from this one pretty quick. He doesn't want to get involved. As we see a tap on the Mercedes. That's the Mercedes of Sanson, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, got tapped by... that wasn't Ataniaki. That was Neil Wood as well. Oh, Neil. Not going the way like a couple of other drivers getting involved, unfortunately. So this is an interesting little one here as well with Honda, Roldan, Phillips and Green. It looks like Keane is just starting to roll into that group, although he's got a little bit further to go. Bub now getting away from Honda. We've seen these two, Bub now and Honda, over the last couple of weeks. We've seen regularly racing against each other. Loudest Howard saying a couple of times that was a punt. That was, yeah, it was a bit of a punt. I think the Jag ahead we previously saw in that incident. It's pretty hard on the brakes, and the Audi behind did not expect. It is what makes this track difficult, I think, is you're often following very, very close behind, particularly as you come into the last sector to try and set yourself up for a run.
I think what makes it difficult is that it's the Hungaroring.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a narrow circuit, particularly in the corners. So when you do have those side-by-side battles, you're not left with much to work with.
And a relatively short straight here, so you need to be right on the back of the other car with full beans to try and really make a move work into turn one. And then for the others, you still want to be close enough that even a small mistake turns into an opportunity. The important thing is, though, that that's the car ahead of you making a small mistake and it's your opportunity. It cannot be you behind making a mistake. That is what we don't want to see. So as you can see, Green is going very deep under brakes a few times, and I feel like it doesn't look like he's as comfortable following a car as what some of the others are. Can I please show the replay? The replay of the punt like 2 minutes ago? Probably not.
Whoa, that Honda's getting very sideways. It was the Honda of rolled, and he's kept the car collected there. He may have lost a position out of it, but very impressive to be able to hold that one and catch it.
Oh, I missed that, so have another look. There we go. Yeah, it does get a little bit of a drift mode going on. The Honda, pretty famous for that, and I think good work by Phillips as well to realise he's absolutely nowhere near alongside. Just back it off. Don't make things worse.
Yeah, actually managed to keep the position, didn't lose it at all. So good job, Rolden, saving that one.
The Honda drifting. Nah, what do you want about? Whoa, that's green deep.
Gallo sending it on on Mullock. It would take me a fair while to go find that, to be honest. I don't have the double set up like Mullock does. It's just one computer, I'm afraid. But perhaps another time. Now, let's jump up. Have a look at this one, because this is a good old battle. Sasana, Madison, Kitching, and Blair all involved. And that gap to JP coming down a little bit as well, I think.
Yeah, they're a lot closer, actually.
I think what's happened, actually, Sasana's last lap was 146. So I think he's actually lost a position to Sanekas and a fair bit of time at the same time as well, because everyone else around doing 144s. Although Alexander's last lap was 145.2 with JP 144.8, so they're going to catch up to him in not too long. Indeed, you can just see him at the top of screen for a moment there. So what is 4 may become 6. I'll tell you what, Sasana's Porsche actually looking fairly stable and fast. So has he found the secret sauce? Or is it actually a lot less stable?
If it's stable, it's not fast, or it's less stable than you think.
Let me have a look. I can see in the mirror the chute behind, or the virtual mirror.
Yeah, Sanekas up ahead on an absolute charge, hunting down Mullock at the moment. Mullock's going to be staring at that delta, watching that rearview mirror to see how large that car becomes in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, Gallo's gotten ahead to the better part of 6 seconds as well in this window. I'm just saying, Sasana's car, that looks pretty good to me. Although that was a little bit looser, to be fair. But it doesn't... Now this is, to be fair, this is not an attempt to commentator's curse. Genuinely, this Porsche seems to actually be relatively composed, I'm thinking. Or am I seeing something different?
Quite stable is fast. Get out of here, Bokita.
Yeah.
I mean, am I seeing something different to what you guys see when you're looking at these inputs?
Looks in my eyes a little bit too good to be true. I've driven the Porsche a few times now, past couple of weeks, and this is really unusual. It's too stable for my liking, because the brake bias will be back at 50%, and I wish I was kidding. And it looks a bit too stable. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that usually to make Porsche fast, you need to have it be a bit more death. So, I mean, if he's making it fast, hats off to him. But yeah, let's have a look. 44.8, so it's still okay. So maybe he's just managing to control the death.
I was going to say, over the course of a 40-minute race, do you think his tyre life would hold out a little bit longer, seeing as though the setup seems like it would take a little bit more care on that tyre wear? So perhaps it might not be the quickest for one lap pace, or maybe a 20-minute race, but to come to a 40-minute race, the car seems like it might still be fresh as a daisy towards the end.
You know, I thought Hungaroring is... It's not the worst, but not the kindest on tyres. There's a lot of kind of heavy loading. So you might be right, just keeps it better for longer. We are 25 minutes or thereabouts into this race. That's well into some degraded tyre windows. We do start to see a little bit more looseness. So see there, the extended commentator's cursing of a sorts kicks in a little bit, and Sassana does get out onto the grass, gets under a heavy challenge from Madison. A little bit of fair side to side. He holds on to the position, although Kitching sneaks one through. So I think nothing untoward in that side to side, but side to side it was. As Madison comes back in, I think realises that maybe he's pushed it a little bit, brakes hard to hold it tight on the apex. A little bit of a tap coming into turn 13. Madison backs out, knows that it would be wrong to press that advantage. Blair sees an opportunity that's fair game for him. He's going to look for a later apex, is Blair.
Yeah, Madison just needs to cool it a little bit, because all of that pushing really hard is lost more time than what he would have if he just slotted in and accepted defeat. There's still 14 minutes to go in this race, plenty of time to make a move shtick. At that point in time, probably wasn't the best position to be doing so, not the best part of the circuit either. Yeah, shtick.
Yeah, right. I just add a couple more S's onto that, mate.
Shtick, no, there's a H.
Oh, is there a H there too? Wow.
Yeah, a little bit of shtick.
Interesting. I mean, I don't fault them for going at it, but go at it they did. Who else has gone at it? And that is JP, who has taken the position from Alexander. So that's some nice work by him. I note that his brother is not here again tonight, unfortunately.
So Gallo, sitting on a 10-second time penalty. Tanekas is currently within that window.
He's going to have to get a regular though. Now, he was behind Mullock. Did have to make that move, but his last lap was 1:44.8. Bruno Gallo's 1:43.9. So some pace required, but he's got it, and we will see if that comes to fruition.
Do you have any information on what that 10-second time penalty was from?
We might indeed. I think I can see them. That is race 1? No, I'm not seeing the race 2 incident yet in the race control penalties chat.
I think the bot is broken.
Ah,
So
that's
it's manually being inputted.
gotcha. Well, we can only imagine.
Yeah, we can imagine whatever we want.
You assign whatever reason you choose to it.
There's a couple of people in chat that are adamant that it had something to do with a bit of an aggressive overtake on Mullock earlier in the race.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's true. If that's Ryan just trying to egg us on because he wants to see the replay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
10 seconds seems a bit
dunno.
much for an aggressive overtake. If it was
I'll-
contact, then yeah, maybe, fair enough.
I'll check it post-race if we've got a few minutes, which we might just between splits. Actually, I'm not sure that we will have time.
No, we won't.
No. We will. Imagine. In the meantime, Zach James in the Jag continues to be the stopper in the bottle between Bubnow, Honor and Roldan, who are the survivors of this group. James does have a 5-second penalty hanging over him, so that is going to push him a fair bit down the order, but to be fair, he just needs to try and do the best laps that he can. Car 74 is off. That's Laurie McLaughlin. Not sure how that one's happened. Caught a little bit of curb there, nothing too untoward. I think this is where it's happened. Oh, that's gone a long
It's
way.
a lot of curb.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
Yep.
That will not buff out. Yeah, we've been there. Just trying to fight for an apex that's well and truly lost as we snap back to Neil Wood getting outie tinged around, and he's losing a position by the looks of things to Ataniaki. Has to give that one up. So Lewis, Wood, Afniaki, and Mitchell ahead stay as a little grouping. Where do we think the next battle is, the next positions to take? Because there's a lot going on. What do you guys want to see?
Let's look at Raggy and Van Vliet. They seem like they're a bit close. Maybe
So by Raggy, you mean Ben
looking
McConnell?
Vanderlei and Van Vliet.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, well,
Both of you.
guessed, yeah.
Well, this is a great opportunity again to get a cockpit view of the Porsche, see how it is behaving as he tries to chase down Vanderlei. How are they going in terms of lap time? So last lap, they were about a tenth apart. Van Vliet was slightly quicker. You can see in the shadow up ahead as well, Blair is having a go on Madison. Ahead of them, Kitching on Sassana.
Yeah, Kitching very close to Sassano. Sassano's going to be feeling the pressure in that with the Porsche underneath him.
What is interesting as well is Senakis has put himself well inside that 10-second window to Gallo. He was just on the edge, I think, when you first commented on it, Braden, and now he's 2.5 seconds to the good of that gap.
Yeah, so he's got a bit of a window here, bit of buffer. He doesn't need to push too hard to close that anymore. He has inherited P1 in terms of the timesheets are concerned. However, he needs to be clean. He still needs to be quick. He needs to be clean.
That's it. Very easy to lose a whack of time, just taking a line that isn't quite right. And even easier to lose it if you try and chase a line that is long since passed. So the Villanova has picked up a drive-through penalty. That'll be for track limits, I strongly suspect. So he is serving that. Can be easy to get track limit penalties here. And so his Porsche seems a lot less stable.
I was going to say,
Sassano's.
here we go. This is looking a bit more like a Porsche.
And I don't know if it's just me, it's the bounciness as well. He did just take a big old curb. You can see as he hits into the braking zones, the car kind of dips and oscillates a fair bit.
That is the Porsche. It's never ever stable when you drive it fast. It's a little bit wide there. Losing the rear a little bit under braking, which is sort of what you expect at certain tracks in the Porsche. So this is looking a bit more familiar in terms of the depth you're looking for in the Porsche. But I have to just wait and see if he can catch Vanderlei or not.
Yeah, it does. It feels like the suspension in this is very soft. The way he's got that set up. Or the dampers more, like the way that the weight is transitioning. You can see it when he gets on the power. It really dips at the back. When they're going
really
downhill.
soft setup on the rear. That anti-roll bar could be cranked down super low.
Yeah, steering at 90 degrees to get the car turned around. Interesting. Very interesting. I do maybe just want to check just ahead, because what was a pair of 2x2, Sassana and Kitching and Blair and Madison, sent into a full four-way battle with Sassana now holding them all up. And I actually suspect that Vanderlei and Van Vliet might also get on this. Kitching's last lap of 145.1. Sassana 145.1 or thereabouts. Blair, as you can see, no, you can't see, I can see, 144.6, unless you're looking at pit wall, I guess, then you can see it as well.
Yeah, Kitching is going to want to keep that gap pretty close between himself and Sassana, otherwise he leaves himself vulnerable to an overtake from Blair if Blair can get the pace on him anywhere around the track. But yeah, if he keeps that gap closed, and it's the ball in his court, and it's up to him whether he wants to make the overtake or not, because there's not really a whole lot of room for Blair to be making any moves when there's two cars in the way. Not exactly a great circuit for overtaking two cars at once.
I mean, you can try, but something tells me that's not going to end well. Kitching looking to the inside there Oh, looked for it. Put him back into the realms of Blair and Madison now. Really just trying to push Blair to his limits because he has to do two things at once here for Blair, attack and defend. I think he's more going to focus on attacking at the moment because he knows he's got the pace over Madison. I think Kitching knows that as well, and Kitching's going to try and defend for his life rather than go for Sasana because it's just going to lose him more time. Looking nice and stable there through turn 4, that is.
We're all keeping it fairly sensible. It feels like, to me, Kitching thought about having a run on Sasana, and then as he backed out was very, very aware that he can't, in making an attack, open up a door for Blair, which makes it so much harder. Much easier to attack if you don't have to defend at the same time. And I think Sasana will be banking on the fact that Kitching has to do exactly that. And I think Alexander ahead will just be praying desperately that they all do that. Because he wants a podium. As we all do. And indeed... no, he's too far outside of the window to stay inside Gallo's 10 seconds. But a third step is much nicer than not being on it at all.
So if Mullet can hold on... Oh no, never mind. I was going to say if he can hold on, he might be able to inherit P2, but that's a 15-second margin, not a 9.5-second margin.
Yeah, look, it's Mullock. I think he's just going to try and keep consistent, hold on for that P3. And Sasana's just going to have to hold on for dear life for the next 3 laps. Just keep everyone behind. Gallo definitely going to lose that P1. Going to hand that win over to JP.
Kitching's got to run.
P2. Here we go. Oh, around the outside. Oh, Blair's going to look for it too. That was well done by Kitching. Sasana, it was going to happen. Blair there. Oh, that was well saved from both drivers there. I thought Sasana was going to be dead there. Oh, tap there with Madison and Sasana. Madison's gotten past from that. It's just wheel-to-wheel racing we'd love to see. Madison P6 now is going to make his way up to Blair if he's got the pace. Kitching's loving this right now, knowing that he can quickly fly ahead. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Mullock in time unless he's absolutely flying and try and get in for that P3 that he needs to redeem himself for from last race. Just getting tapped there from Gallo, so hopefully for his sake that he can try and inherit that podium, but it's a big ask with only 2 laps to go.
And you feel for Sasana, he did such a good job. I feel like he kind of let Kitching through, knew that that position was gone and didn't want to lose any more time fighting it. Unfortunately, he's lost 2 more in the process, so...
Yeah, he got absolutely mugged within 2 corners there. I'm not too sure I agree with some of the overtakes that we saw with that. I think it was very aggressive, and I don't think Sasana would be too happy about it either.
Yeah, well, drivers can always protest after the race if they feel something is unjust or there's a bit of aggressiveness going on there. Now on board Roldan, who's behind Bub now, who's behind James, who's got the 5 seconds. So James is going to lose out. What's that, P15 at least? Yep, down to P15 he will go at the end of this race. Bub now up position, Roldan and Honor as well. I think Honor's just going to hold back for the moment. There is only 2 laps to go, of course. James is going to have to defend for his life, even though he does have that pen. Bub now is going to have to defend for his life, though, with Roldan behind.
Good little train here. And I'm not sure that it's going to end the way it is, although we see some very respectful drives. And some of these guys have been in the wars earlier in the race. So maybe at this stage, they just want to bring it home. But they're racers at the end of the day, right? Like we all, if there's one more position, you go for it, right? We sit here casually going, just take the position and be happy with it, mate. You've done a great race.
Yeah.
When you're behind the wheel, you're like, no, I can get one more.
No, I need that position. There we go. Final lap there for Gallo, who does have that 10-second penalty, which will inherit him P2 instead and inherit JP the race win. He's Scott Blair now. Sasana has dropped a long way back. Blair's going to try and hunt down Kitching. 1 lap to go. Can he do it? Madison's behind. I think he's just going to hold back unless he sees a mistake from Blair or Kitching, or they go off the track. So I think this is just going to be a battle to the end there here for P4. Mullock's almost got that P3 in the bag.
Blair's just picked up a 5-second penalty.
Ah, that might be for
I'd say that's
maybe an aggressive overtake on Kitching, maybe. Oh no, the tap on Sasana. Never mind, excuse me. Yeah. So that's 5.
By the looks of this delta crunching down between Kitching and Neil Alexander, I think Mullock has Sasana to thank for playing a little bit of a Fernando Alonso in this race for him, holding off these really fast drivers for long enough for Mullock to be able to hold that position and keep that gap open.
And to be fair, Neil's put in really good laps, lap after lap, but certainly some of these other guys are a little bit quicker. I think Neil's still getting a bit race fit after not being able to drive for quite a while. And this will have been a stressful endeavour for him, I suspect. But let's check out Bruno Gallo. Gets a little bit more airtime just at the end, as he will come across the line and take a win. However, that will be deducted to a P2. So JP gets the win. Denied last race. Picks it up in this one. And Alexander comes through for a 3rd. 1 more corner to go. Maybe 1 more lap. Kitching's on him quick.
Man sleeps wrong, but he drives right. It was a very good race by Mullock.
Overjoyed. Emotion clear on his face. Kitching does come through for a 4th. Blair 5th with a penalty, though. A trifecta of Porsches. Sasana, Van Vliet and Van der Leyen all come through. Further down the order, Ryan Green is on Matt Keane. There's no penalties between these two. A couple more further down the field. 1 last roll of the dice if you are Green. He's giving it everything, isn't he? But, won't be enough time. Will come through across in 16th. 2nd in class, though. Can't be too upset about that. And it's Atanayaki has to serve a drive-through at the end. Sanson also has to serve a drive-through at the end. And as we saw last night, that will actually cause the server to take forever to end the session. It's not entirely sure what's going on. See some of the last drivers come through. Lewis come through 4th in class there. Villanova and Phillips as well. So we might up this as the overall leaderboard while we wait for the server to end, because we do need to jump into the next one. The qualifying's already going on. Congratulations to Sonikas, Gallo and Alexander, who will take 1, 2 and 3 respectively. In the Pro-Am, Sasana, Van Vliet and then McConnell. And in the M class, Roldan, Green and Neil Wood, as there's a few burnouts, as there should be. We're going to have to jump straight across and see what's going on. One moment, please.
I'm sure all of the drivers are very familiar with the old URAP search.
Good old URAP, yes.
But the special events ones don't use URAP. I just get myself confused. By the way, we are straight in. Oh, my buttons don't work, obviously.
Lovely, there we go. We just saw, until Jamie rudely took us away, that Zach Smith's in the lead with a 43.3. Very solid time, 2.5 minutes to go. Here comes Chalmers, 4/10 up. Where's that going to put him? Yeah, righto.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, good one position.
Right now it is Jake Baldwin with a 143 flat or thereabouts. Zach Smith, he's on a 143.3. He's 4 now. Call it 5/10 up. He is on a big run. Gibbo, he's not far behind as well. He's 3/10 off the lead. There's gains all round the track. Samwise Holmes right now on 7/10 gain on his current time. There we go, Smithy coming through for a 142.9. Powerful, strong stuff. Holmes comes through 7/10 gain, puts himself up into P8. Corey Sweet's a bit earlier on in his run. but he's found a couple of tenths.
Wait, we can do it now, Jamie.
What's this?
It's split red.
It's split red.
We need to show the one driver that's been promoted.
Oh, yes. Well, depends. His time will come. His time will come.
His time will come. Okay.
Right, I'll look and see if he's on a big gain. We'll jump straight on board, but right now he's not.
So someone's been promoted to pro, and we can't say who that is yet, though. No. Oh, nearly 4 tenths up. That is the Merc literally eating all the curb.
He's pushing, and I think 3.5 tenths will jump him all the way to about 4th, maybe 3rd.
Yeah, where is he for?
But that's not a bad turn. 13.
Let's see. 14 now. Let's see. Loses that a little bit on exit, half a tenth. 100 puts him up P5 right behind Cheriets.
Jeremy Washington.
Rubbish. Wow, 8 tenths.
No,
Right,
he's
a
going
bit
to
off
need
his
it. He's
regular pace.
P18. He
Yeah.
should not be there. I mean, he's much quicker than that.
He's got some more to go. That's a good start. Gafour, he's finding 9 tenths. Waiting till late. Some of these drivers really end of the stint throwing it down. There's a whole bunch more gains that I haven't caught. George Fowler's currently 6 tenths up on his lap. Washington another 10th on his next fly, so that's going to be one to watch. Sean Jacobs is a 10th up. Oh, as we see, one of the McLarens goes well wide.
I think he was just getting out of the way there. May have been an invalidated lap.
Could be right. Gafour finding even more time. He will lose it a touch on the exit. No gains even there.
Wow. Where's that going to put him?
Huge step.
P10. Yeah, well done.
Very nice. Sano. He's got 5 tenths up. Needs a bit more. 5 tenths is going to jump him a long way up the order. It's always in split red. Just small gains mean big positions. So 19th. Lands himself in 14th. That's some good work. Baldwin. Interested in trying to get his pole back. He's going to need just a fraction.
Find it? He only needs a tenth and a bit. Oh, can he find it on exit?
A touch more, touch more.
Oh,
Not quite.
No! Oh, he nearly had
tight.
it too. I was really... I had my hopes up there for Jake, but just was so close.
Samwise can keep this one together. He'll pop himself up into the top 10 here.
Do you think he
Yeah,
can
really
do?
tenths up.
Do you think he can do mega defensive runs 3 weeks running? We're going to find out.
Well, we'll see. Loses. Oh, actually gains a little bit. Loses on entry, but gains on exit about... Oh, just about half a tenth, 6 100ths or so there. Gains. Oh, stays the same on exit. Turn 14 gets him P9. Very good effort.
Does jump into that P10, into that top 10. I'm not seeing any more. And that indeed is the end of the stint. So Zach Smith, 142.792. Baldwin just a touch behind him. Oh, did he invalidate? Because I thought he did get that improvement, but not quite enough.
Now that that's over, congratulations, JP. That's a win, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. Good evening. Hello, all.
G'day, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was good fun.
And now, the first race, almost a win in that one as well. Just
Yeah, just a tiny... The Bentley is just so bloody long, you know, so the nose was just ahead. No, it was good fun. Had good pace and some decent battles. Yeah, enjoyed that. It was good fun. Looking forward to this as well.
Yeah, very well done. And, yeah, Hungaroring always shows some excitement, I think. A tough track to overtake on, but the moves are memorable. And Neil Alexander, easy overtake, hard overtake, just casual, right? Like you just walked through.
He did let me through. So but what I will say is it was pure pace. Nothing to do with letting me through. No, he actually said he wasn't gonna slow us both down. So actually, I'm quite thankful for that because I don't think I would have caught Gallo without that little gracious lead by.
There you go.
Yeah, again, he was in the Bentley and he's at Hungary, so I think he was just happy to be there.
That's fair. The hamster with another $50. Mate, you're out of control. Out of control. We appreciate
Oh, I
it.
was earned more money today than me.
Yeah.
I had to work 8 hours for it.
Mate, he's much appreciated. Yeah, it was interesting battles all the way through in both races. So 20 minutes seems full of fire and spice, and 40 is kind of a longer brew, I think.
Yeah, 40 seems to be all about just surviving that first 2 corners, and once you can get through there, then you can settle in and put some pressure on people and hopefully make a move.
That's it.
Yeah, I think it also depends on where you actually start that second race, because if you're a little bit further back than that top 12, I think it's more than just the first 2 corners you need to worry about. I'd say it's more like the first 2 laps, where you need to be a little bit cautious about the unfamiliar territory that you're driving around.
I mean, turn 1 is just, it's a thing.
Yeah, the chicane can get pretty spicy on the first lap as well, especially if you have a couple of people very near each other going through turn 5 also. But yeah, on the first lap, just stick it on a curb and avoid everybody, and hopefully you survive.
Yeah.
All right. Just on the formation lap now, so I'm going to head out before we get into the racing action and have to awkwardly depart. Sorry, guys, while you're calling the start of the race, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I'll get going now.
Thank you very much, mate.
Right, I think, mate.
Guys, enjoy yourselves.
So, the track conditions, optimum, a little bit cloudy, no rain coming, 22 ambient and a 28 degrees track, 5k an hour winds. So nothing too dramatic. We can pray for next race rain.
I'll be back in just a minute. I just need to do some baby things.
Not a problem at all. I assume that means tending to his child, not
Yeah,
just,
it does.
just being a baby for a while.
Yeah, it can be a baby if you want.
Ah, the joys about being an adult is you can do what you want, including being a baby.
Being an
if you
adult,
choose.
that's funny. That's funny.
Mate, you'll get there one day.
Nah, probably not.
Oh dear. This is gonna be very interesting. So I'm looking at Holmes and Raschuti in particular, because Holmes has been in some big defensive drives at Silverstone.
He has.
In particular, was an outstanding one. And where were we last week again? Misano.
Misano.
Fantastic defensive race. And Raschuti, if you get stuck behind him, Rashuti's a good attacker. So we might see some spice there. Anyway, I think JP's doing baby things. You did some early one. This might be my turn.
Yeah, go for it.
So we come up to the line. So we should get off pretty quickly. The line is quite close. It'll be Smith alongside Baldwin. Smith got himself up nice and tight. Baldwin not letting him get too far ahead. Gibbons caught napping a tiny bit. Might be under a heavy pressure from Sweet and Floyd. Indeed, does look like he's been pushed all the way to the outside. Baldwin has gotten a good solid lead from Smith, although Smith will have the title line. There's a turn. That is Chewiot's. That is Floyd, I think. That is an absolute disaster. 11 billion cars. Safety car will absolutely be called to rectify this one, and already has happened.
I don't know
Yikes.
what else to say.
Yeah, that one's rough. That one's real rough. Let's go back. And just
As
see
much as I
that
tried
turn.
to avoid using these words, that was fucking terrible. That was absolutely horrid.
Yeah, that's pretty ugly. So we've got some time. Wait till this goes back, and then you're going to remind me what the free cam controls are.
Yes,
Try
I
and
am.
get a better view. Yeah, it's one of those things where a small tap turns into a big old incident. All right, let's a replay. Go back around here. All right, so what are the controls again?
Depends. You want to follow the car, or would you like drone mode?
I just want drone mode.
Control F7.
Control F7, right? And then, yeah, I can do that. Now, how do I move?
Arrow
Arrows?
keys.
Right, arrows. And then mouse wheel speeds
And
me
then,
up. Oh, I
yep,
got it.
and then just go down to turn 1.
All right, so let's get a look around here.
Yeah, and go for it.
Play. No, no.
And it's following the car. I said control F7 and it's still doing. That's fine.
I'll fight it. I'll fight it.
You
This is
fight
not-
it. That's just dead. That's just death.
All right. So what if I change the camera to helicam and then control F7?
Nah, it won't work. Just go F7 and then press the mouse wheel in, and it will bring up the options.
Ah,
And go to I follow car off.
right. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
There you go. And now go back
Now
out.
we can.
You'll be fine.
And now, how do I get my mouse back?
You should, yeah. You don't have to have them. You don't have to have the menu open for it, but yeah, that works.
So we can see the Ferrari and the Mercedes get turned around, and then everyone just kind of plows in and on the cars have tried to go to the outside to avoid it, and that's just made things much, much worse. And in the end, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars pretty much completely stationary. It is what it is.
Not much to say about that one.
Yeah. Oh, yellow flags is really the key there. As soon as there's been an incident, everyone needs to start to really lift. Well, it is what it is. Figure it out. So we'll be under safety car for a little while. This, I think, is the first full safety car lap. Usually we'll go straight away. So, fortunately, at least, it looks like Washington has had to go take a pit stop, as has Corey Sweet. Car 88, Tom Sanderson is completely out, although I don't actually think he took the start. It looks to my eyes like Washington will actually get onto the back of the pack by the time they go live. He really boots it. I'm sure he will be. So hopefully that mitigates some of that damage. We should take the time. We didn't mention. I said I'd hold on. Unfortunately, he's a bit further down the order. But Ben Deek has been promoted to Pro-Am.
He has.
So for the fan club,
All the fanboys celebrate.
right? Ben Wright in chat hasn't said anything about it. We know, now you know. Pro-Am,
Yeah.
not Am.
Well, it's time for a safety car restart.
Oh, that's true. You can take this one.
Okay, let's go for it. And there's a mess up the front. There's Baldwin there. Words being trailed by Smith. Gibbo there, just on the outside, trying to cover Smith. Potentially moving to the outside as he has 3 wide. That's McIntosh, Raschuti, and Holmes, I think. And missing behind there. So side by side they go. McIntosh
Oh, no,
and
Holmes.
Oh, that's Holmes dead.
He's
Span it
kept
round though, no damage.
out of the wall.
Well done.
And yeah, we're on relatively safely, minus that move. Oh, that one hurts to watch a little bit. But Baldwin has gotten ahead. Smith did not want to give him anywhere near enough room, really on his tail, until it went green. But in the end, Baldwin did manage to find some space and get away. And indeed, he's gotten a fair bit of gap already. Here we're watching McIntosh, who is staying very, very tight with Misson. Raschuti a long way up the order after that incident. I think he started in 11th, I recall. So he's on a good run, given to up to P3. But it has come at the cost of a few other drivers' positions. So Ben Wright, that's 2 yellows. Surely a red after that restart. Oh, I mean, the hit on Holmes hurt, but didn't really impact any other drivers. So I think he's okay there. Either way, we continue on let's have a look. So Zach Smith is trying to stay in touch with Baldwin. Not quite able to be right on top of him. Close enough as what he'd like to be. But maybe let's have a look at Jacobs and this cluster. So you've got Johnson, Gafford, Jacobs, Viney, Sassano staying pretty tight. Then a little bit of a gap to Matthews, who was pointed out in chat. I recall seeing there was someone mentioning the AM Linton in 13. He's now in 12th. He's Matthews, but I think that was as a result of getting past Holmes, who was spun out. It looks to me like Washington has already started to make hay a little bit, so he did get right back onto the back of that grid. He's got himself back up into 30th out of 33. Busy old split. He's red. Linton claims an AM on front row by the end of this. That's a bit more of an ask, but
yeah,
all things are possible. These guys starting to space out a little bit more, and actually I think this one's just gotten a fair bit tighter. It's McIntosh at the back. Let's get inside. Trying to stay tight with Misson. Big old 90-degree lock. That looks... That's not Raschuti, is it? No, it's not.
No, it's not. It'll be a lapped Lambo, I'd say.
It is indeed. So that will be Tom Sanderson. I think either didn't take the start or had a big old whack of damage, so it was in the pits for quite a long time. This gap's starting to open up a tiny bit more. Gibbons has a hint of breathing room. And we're shooting behind, but how long will it last? Time will tell. Raschuti really bringing that Lambo, doing a good job with it. Hey, Jake up the front. A 143 flat is his current lap time. Zach Smith 2/10 behind. So rare do we see Zach Smith falling behind, but in this case, that's what's happening so far. So we are seeing that kind of ebb and flow that I feel like happens a bit in these battles at Hungaroring, where it kind of opens and closes between sectors. You can see McIntosh dropping away from Misson by 1.4 seconds. That almost feels like it's been a small mistake there through the first or second sector for him. Same time, Misson has used that time to gain onto the back of Raschuti. So maybe more to it. So that gap nowhere near close enough to even think about any funny business.
He's still got time to catch up though, so could see potentially just over the next 9.5 minutes, Samwise right on the back of Parkin. Might just see Misson make his way up. So we just see Samwise go down the inside. Good dive, a little deep, but I think Parkin sort of sensed that coming and lets him have it still.
Yeah, I think Parkin knows full well it's probably not worth contesting that for too long. And indeed, Samwise continues on his charge. Washington as well will be one to see. So he has indeed just gotten past Chalmers, so now he's got to run down to Girardi. Washington being murdered pretty heavily in that starting incident, so a lot of catching up. Chewietz as well. You can see he's on the back of Frustock. Seeing what he can do. I feel like he tried to take a little bit more of that chicane than what he'd like to normally, to ease off a touch. Or maybe that's just my eyes wanting to see some excitement. and found some extra excitement there. Oh, goodness. Harriet finds a mountain of grip and does manage to pretty comfortably put it up alongside Frustock. Frustock saw it, thankfully, and therefore did not start to tangle up, but could have easily turned into an instance of good clean driving. But yeah, the Audi, as you've mentioned a few times through the night, just a little bit sensitive here. You do have to baby it at a touch. You will have Washington, I think, is going to try and send this move. She's got a bit more drive. Brakes a little bit more progressively. Not necessarily later, just... Also, you can see how much longer the BMW is. It's a long boy. Frustock trying to maybe squeeze a little bit, try and see if he can compromise Washington's line. Unable to do so. Washington takes the inside and takes the position. So, kind of to be expected. Washington and Chariot's both respectively very, very fast drivers, and Frustock doing a great job. But just got a little bit more pace at this point. Go drop the order. Back on this one. Miss and V Raschuti. Gibbo slowly getting away from them. Not walking away, but last lap it was 4/10. He'll continue on. Gafulga, I can see on the back, is on the back of Johnson as well. This is another one where it's turned into a lot of pairs. So see Josh pick up a 5-second, 10-second penalty.
Yeah, it's usually what the first race is about. There's not a lot of close racing at the, well, there was at the start, but once you start to get out, it's usually only pairs, maybe threes. You don't see a lot of those bigger trains you see in the 40-minute ones, just because people are really going for it, just absolutely hammering those tyres to basically hot lap for 20 minutes. Once you get to the 40-minute, that's when people start to back it up a bit. There's a group of three there, actually. Samwise, Matthews, and Ben Floyd.
Yeah, this is one of the trains that kind of exists, and I think it's just in a state of flux. To see in the background there, I think that was Washington getting a little bit loose as he is trying to make some moves. Or is that... No, that's Mason on Parkin. I can see there. Yeah, so you've got Laird, who's just up ahead a bit. He's actually coming on back onto the back of Powell and Meddings. And Meddings has a big old 5-second gap to Sassano. You go Meddings, Powell, Laird, then Clayton, who's right on the back of Laird. Then Floyd and Holmes, trying to recover some positions in the pro class. See McIntosh's 10-second penalty. Did I already comment on that? I did.
So, was the start exciting?
There was a safety car almost immediately.
So, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it was P2 and P3, P3 and P4 got involved with each other into turn one. Just one of those one's right on the apex, and the other one kind of comes in a little bit too tight and taps the back of the car, spins it round in front of 200 other cars, and everyone starts to try and go to the outside to avoid it, and that gets too congested, and a second incident starts. Yeah, it's a bit ugly all round.
So just a standard Hungary turn one.
Yeah.
It's one of the things, I guess, with ACC sometimes is it's a little bit sensitive to touches, particularly front to rear. Although cars in general are a little bit sensitive to that kind of a touch. So
Yeah, the collision physics sometimes exaggerate things a little bit more than it probably would have been. So
yeah,
it does sometimes lead to incidents that shouldn't necessarily be as big as they are. But yeah, that's just part of the charm, I guess.
yeah, we take the small compromises in exchange for not having to spend $800,000 on a race car. I know which one I'll take.
Are you talking about iRacing?
Must be.
I mean, to be fair, iRacing's only 700,000, so.
But yeah.
But yeah, I guess if you bought the premium package. But yes, that is a fair cop. So I feel like this is one of the more exciting trains. There is some activity likely to be had. I think at this point, no one's willing to give any free passes, so Lloyd and Holmes might be quite quick. But if you're Meddings, you do not want to give up this position. Let me tell you, I know this from yesterday. If you are in this position, you do not want to give anything up. You're like, I need 2 laps. I just need to hold this P12 for 2 more laps. It'll be fine.
This is definitely going to be the widest Jaguar ever produced.
Oh, it's got to be.
And I think he's probably safe-ish for this lap. Is Drew Laird safe for this lap? That's less clear.
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, yeah, no. No is the answer, but there's a massive send, and that's just not really. Oh, don't. Oh, I was going to say don't do that because that's going to end in just mega death. Can he pull across? He can. Floyd's just backed out of it. Sticks his nose in Samwise there. Side by side with Clayton, but forces him out wide. Back in round for turn 3.
Floyd was always slightly optimistic going into that first turn there.
He saw maybe half a chance. And at Hungaroring, you take half a chance sometimes. But I think if you're Meddings, you're like, please. I think he wants Powell to be under more pressure, not less. Frankly, as we can see, unfortunately. Oh no. I'm seeing incident results come through that did not result in a penalty. Chewitt has picked up a 5-second. Girardi also has picked up a 15-second penalty. He's a bit further down the order though. Bendick, just a warning.
Meddings just need to survive one more turn 1.
It's the last one. The last one that's the hardest. Although even turn 12, you definitely get challenged there if you're not paying enough attention. So I feel like, there's lots of little scraps, but this one still feels like the one to watch to the end because this is for the pole in the reverse grid. And it just feels like there's some spice left to give. Oh no, oh no, oh no, that is a Mercedes coming in and missing its brake marker by a million miles. Samwise, hold those brakes harder. Did have the presence of mind to keep it wide and to not throw it into the back of any cars, so good work there at least. He's going to try and run it back around the outside of Clayton, I can see. Not to be had, Juzzy too wary. Nick De Silva says the Mercs are allergic to the turn 1 apex. Look, you might be a little bit right this race, but I think that they will find it for race 2. It's okay. Let's have a quick peek just in case. So, Baldwin will be coming around the final corner. He will take that race win for sure. Gafford on Johnson looks like one of the other tighter ones. Hello? Oh,
Nice.
I have been disconnected, I think.
Yeah, you lost. Oh, don't tell me the server crashed. Oh, no. Oh, please tell me it was just Jamie. Okay, I think it was just Jamie. We're all
It's
good.
just me. So who knows what we'll come back to?
Yeah.
All right. We're okay. I've got to restart my little utility. So one more half moment, please.
1.5.
It's all right. Thanks, mate.
No.
Here we go. All right. So,
Destiny.
we've still got. It's our P12. Bryce Meddings does come across in P12, so he holds it to the end. Powell and Laird just behind him. There is a 10-second penalty, but that is not going to be enough from McIntosh. Indeed, McIntosh, that 10-second penalty, I think he's going to throw him a fair bit up the reverse grid order, but you'd like the points now rather than the promise of more points later. So Baldwin from Smith by 2.3 seconds. Gibbo holds on for P3. Well done to him. Rashuti was on a bit of a charge trying to catch back up. Not able to close it down. Johnson, Gafford and Viney in the Pro-Ams. think that's everyone who has finished off. There's a couple of drivers still coming around. George Fowler fetching the car. He will bring it home to close out that split. So there you go. Thankfully, just a connection issue on my side. And serious for everyone else. There you go. In the AM, Johnson, Gapoor, Viney, as we said, and Matthews, Mason, and Frustock for the M class.
Green light, show them what you got.
So just refreshing, qualifying time, 1:42.7 was enough. However, the top 12 will not be re-qualifying. They will from the last race. So we're looking kind of maybe the high 1:43s. Will get you the P13.
You'd have to have a look.
low 43s.
Low 43, yeah, because some of those
depends who's
drivers.
in. Oh yeah, that's true. Floyd and Sam will see. Yeah, probably low 43s. You're probably looking at.
That's it. Now, who takes pride of place? Chewiets gets out. Gets out well and truly early. So we'll have been all ready to go. And it's not much promise of rain. It's cloudy. It's 22 ambient with a 30 track. There's still hope.
Could be potential for rain. 7k an hour winds. It's a bit not that cloudy though. I was speaking to some fellow drivers in the team speak last night, and I said I hope it doesn't rain for race 2, and it rained for race 2.
That rain was great though.
So you good?
Oh yeah, look, I did curse it, and I don't know if I'd call it great, especially when you're in the Audi, but you know, rain schmain, it's whatever. Just don't bin it, basically.
Oh, look, I did right here. I went out onto the painted stuff, gassed it up and rotated.
Oh yeah, no,
Was in
don't do
P20.
that.
Yeah, I was in P24. For a while, I recovered to like a 17th.
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
did
that.
well, but just don't hit that AstroTurf. It's not
No.
advised.
No, it's particularly bad in the wet. Oh dear. So some spice in race 1, but it was mostly right at the start and more of an incident than we'd like it to see. Chewy, it feels like he can brake quite late, but I'm not exactly sure how far up the car this cockpit or that camera angle was. Get some of the style shots as he comes through. Fans
The camera
waving.
angles that are already fairly decent.
Some
Fairly
of them-
cinematic.
Yeah, they do give a pretty good lens. There you go. It's a nice magazine cover shot. Sometimes the helicam gets a little bit too close. Makes it hard to really get a sense of the gaps. But it does look quite good. That's not
This
a bad
is-
one.
For me personally, I don't know about you guys in chat, but this is the worst chicane of any of the tracks on this game.
Ooh. I would have said Zolder. Zolder? Zenvoort? Zenvoort? Zolder. Zolder.
Zolder has the yeety boy, but you can properly yeet it. This one, even the Bentley can't yeet this one properly.
Oh. I don't know. I guess.
That's debatable.
Oh, what about no. What about Imola? Imola's horrible.
Again, I'm in the Bentley, so
yeah, what you have to say. Imola, I'd say Imola is probably the worst one for any car except the Bentley.
That Imola chicane is an abomination.
Oh, it's fucking revolting.
Just, I hate it. And I think it has no place. I would rather it was just an actual wall.
You reckon?
Yeah, just no curves, just walls.
to
It
be fair,
becomes a
if you take
street
it wrong
circuit.
by about 1 millimeter, it is basically just a wall.
Yeah. you find the other wall. There you go. So Sweet in with a 143.5, just pipping Cheerios, who also has a 143.5, but a little bit worse than one. So my high 143 is already gone.
Difficult. bank about probably another 3 or 4 tenths there.
Forgive me, you're a tiny bit quiet there, JP. We couldn't quite make that one out.
No, I was just saying that's a very good banker by. I don't know. Did that turn me up?
You're a little bit better. I'll turn you up a bit more at my end, but it sounded like you're a little bit away from the mic for a moment back there.
Is this clearer?
That is fantastic. I've turned you up too much now. That's all right. You're all good.
No. I was just saying that it was a very good banker by Sweden Cheviots there. So there's definitely another, as you can see, Cheviots here already 6 tenths up. So he's into the 40, trying for the 42s. If he just nails this final corner, then he should be there. This exit is always tricky to get it. Seems to have done it fairly well. That should be a 42.
That would have gotten him about P2 last race, actually. So that's an outstanding
he
time.
He actually might have matched Baldwin's time, I think, like to the millisecond.
Girardi's on a great time if it was a valid lap, but it is sadly not. Washington trying to muscle the BMW. I feel like the BMW is not the greatest of cars here, but it's fun nonetheless.
I think that you find the BMW is not the greatest of cars, full stop.
That's fair. Be interesting to see when the M4 gets added.
Be interesting to see how it goes on the new BOP coming out in. Oh, when does it usually come out? November, around there.
That's true, because the real racing against BOP was quite kind to it later in its life. Either way, Washington coming through with a 7.5 tenths gain, puts himself up into P4 from that. He'll want a bit more, I suspect. Neighbours coming through with 3 tenths gained himself, which will not even grab him a position actually, because it's a bit of a gap there. But it's good signs if he wants more. Sweet, 4 tenths. Let's have a look. Now he needs 5.5 or thereabouts if he wants to grab the P13 away. Sometimes P14 is not too bad here as well. 13 would have the inside line. Can get a bit congested. Just coming through turn 12 there. Kicks the car around a touch too much. Maybe runs a bit too wide at the apex of 13, or not too bad actually. Wants to hold it tight. Tiny bit early on the power maybe. Just didn't quite get the car turned around the way he'd feel comfortable with. Puts himself up into P2, further into P2 I should say, 2 tenths behind, which is good for him because Ben Floyd is on a bit more of a charge. 5.5 tenths gained. Fortunately he needs 9.5 to jump a position, which is a bit rough. At least giving it his all.
He's going to have just enough time for one more go, so Samwise looking to jump up into the top 4, although he's lost quite a bit there. Or if he can nail the exit here, no, not quite enough, so
I think he'll actually hold his current position and gain no more. Didn't quite have enough time to get another lap through. Neighbour, he's found another 3 tenths, so did push him up into P7. Fowler is coming through with a better part of an 8 tenth gain at the moment. He's on a 146.2, so he will want a bit more time than that. But for the M class, I think he's in second behind Matthews, and looks like he's on a run to take that higher position for sure. And not really much of a gain. It's a slight loss in the exit. Gets him P10. However, Chalmers, one of the last on track. There's a couple more behind him. But he's on a 3.5 tenths gain. He lost almost entirely in one corner. And then some, and then invalidates. So
that's not advised. That's not the best strat. Hold on. Ooh, he needs a bit more time here, Floyd, to catch his teammate. There's the 2 tenths. That wouldn't be enough, though. He needs 3 tenths or so. Yeah, there's the 2.3.
He's on the edge.
2, 1, 2. Don't think he's going to get it. He's bloody close though. Oh, he was.
300ths. And Clayton just waiting to the end to just throw down 1.2 second gain. Just getting that Jag around. I'll jump him a fair few positions. He'll be happier with that. Up into P9 for that second grid. So Sweet and Floyd, very, very close. Even Girardi, Washington, not much separating those two. Down at the grid, there's tight little battles. And it looks like our hopes of rain dashed.
Boo.
Yeah, it seems unlikely. Theoretically possible, but probably not happening. I do love a nice bit of rain just at the end, or just at the start. You know, one of these two. Those are always fun.
It needs to come in about sort of 10 minutes before the end. So it's
Yeah.
just on that precipice of what do you do as a driver? When do you go in, or do you try and brave it out?
Yeah, I think it just adds that extra dimension. So it'll be interesting. Seen even iRacing is adding it in. So for only $600, you can buy wet races in iRacing.
Yeah, yeah.
Soon.
Per track.
I honestly thought they must have it, and I'm just not racing in any class that had it, because... No. Like, aren't you amazed? I'm amazed you didn't have it many years ago. But that's... Anyway. We can all have a bash up on iRacing another time. It's a great platform as well, though. So. There you go. Any more surprise? Can I pull up the... I can't pull up the time. Oh, hang on. If I press this timetable. No. That doesn't
No, you
help me.
can't.
No, I can't. Any more surprises for that qualifying? Any standouts?
Girardi P4, very good effort. Washington would expect. Sam was neighbour. Powell, very good performance there. Very well done. Clayton as well. So good performance from all.
Yeah. Ben Deek getting his promotion up into Pro-Am and sitting himself in the middle of that qualifying pack is a good step. So I think my chat got I got disconnected from YouTube chat. I think I'm still connected.
There hasn't
That's rude.
been anything going on, I don't think.
Everyone's just being quiet.
Yep.
Janice just having a nice cup of tea after seeing Gibbo get a P3. Which is always a nice sign. As now we see the reverse grid getting called out. Who's first there? So 818 is Bryce Meddings. We have a Jag in P1. Or at least...
On its farewell tour at the moment.
That's it. So we've only got one more week of the regular season here, don't we? Before we head into finals. Oh, Nissan's going to have to back up a bit. You'll figure it out. So as they call everyone else out, and now the rest of the grid can file in. See, oh, that's right. It's the Jag that has the long finger cam.
Ah, yes.
Surely needs to check his driver ID before this race gets going.
He does need to check that. One of these onboards, I think, actually shows that. There you go. I believe he has checked it. Has he checked in with the doctor as to why his pinky finger is so large? He has not.
No.
Oh dear. I don't know.
The steering wheel actually looks half decent from this angle. As soon as you view it from the front, then you immediately just projectile bomb it pretty much because it's so ugly.
It's a bit of an unusual one.
That's what you say when somebody has an ugly baby and you don't want to say it's ugly. He's unique. No, it's ugly. You can call it ugly. It's fine.
Don't know if you.
Not the baby, I mean the steering
your
wheel.
child. Oh.
not the baby. Be political there, but
Yeah,
with the
just-
steering wheel.
I suppose there's a certain function in a steering wheel. Yeah, it's a bit of a stranger one, but that's okay. We accept steering wheels of all shapes and sizes.
Unless it has the Jaguar logo on it, then we...
Well, Ben. Fair. Either way. JP, you going to take this one?
Sure, no problem.
Fantastic. Safety car will peel away, and we will be ready to roll.
Try my best not to say clean, because that's obviously not going to happen. So, coming around the final corner. Middings leading based on the reverse grid. Susano in second, Viney, Jacobs, McIntosh, Kafur, Johnson, Nissen, Richuti, and Gibbons rounding them out. As they're coming to the line, obviously a little bit later because of the reverse grid. Try and maintain 80 kilos. And they should be going green anytime
green light. Go, go, go.
now. And they're off. Everybody seems to... Bentley is a little bit on his own there. It's a bit weird. And they're sending it 4 wide, so this is always going to end well. Honda up pins. Ooh, he strolled him. Yep, yeah, he strolled him.
Are you taking the piss?
So that went well.
Oh, God. That's definitely
Okay.
a safety car. Yep.
Yeah, we have. Looks like it might have gone a little bit late on that safety car call, but... Alright. Let's go find out what happened.
Lance Stroll is snuck into OOR, apparently.
A little bit like that. I'm just going to find for the start. So now, F7 you said, right? And then, yep, and then arrows, and then follow
Yeah, you
car
have to do.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Right now, how
Usually
do I get my
control
mouse
F7
back?
should work.
Oh,
Are you...
if I just press F7 again, I get my mouse back?
No, I wouldn't bother.
I have to right
just
click.
Right click. Yeah, you got to right click.
Alright, this should give us a reasonable view of the entire incident. Which may be a little bit far away, but we'll figure
A
it out.
little bit. Oh, yep. There are some cars down there.
How do I... Oh,
Just with the keys, the arrow keys, you can go forward.
oh. I pressed the arrow key and I've gone into the world.
That's because you probably. Oh Jesus!
Oh, you press something else as well. That's Orient.
I think we should just not bother. That was
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah,
stick with
cool,
that.
great.
How long
awesome,
have we
yeah.
got before...
They're only going to
No,
go
they're only...
now, so
We've got ages to go find this. Alright, I can do this. I can get this right. Set them under the safety car, that is. So I'm going to go back here. I'm finding it, I'm finding it. This was the race start. Here we go. Yep, and that was the incident. This is amazing viewing. Okay. F7. Right. Middle mouse button. Turn that off.
And you've gone
Please don't do this again.
reduce your speed a little bit with the mouse.
I very much reduce your speed by about. Oh, for
I mean, this is not going well.
Alright, alright,
There we
alright.
go.
Okay.
We got there, we got there. This is fine, this is fine. Alright, it's a bit quick.
I don't know if fine's the word.
I mean,
Look.
it's something.
Is this seems like a better view?
Maybe you zoom it in a little. Yeah, there we go. I think that should be.
Yeah,
I think
just
your
turn-
speed is
yeah,
still
yeah,
way
that,
too high.
yeah.
Okay. And then... Yep. We got it. We got there, right? Here we go. Look, I'm not great at free cam controls.
You reckon?
Yes, a
Yeah,
big old
I mean-
tap. Honda on Jag. It wasn't as bad, to be fair, as the
No.
race one.
I think the Jag he was fairly slow into that first corner, and he just sort of not closed the gap necessarily, but he just sort of took a tight line while the Honda was there. Kind of hard for the Honda to avoid that.
Yeah, that's it. So, I don't think that many cars really got put out of position, and the damage didn't seem to be phenomenal. There wasn't those kind of T-bonings. There you go.
Saying it's all Hungaroring. It's always been. Yep.
You don't need to be a billionaire to get into space, right? You just observe this commentary and it'll launch you a million miles away from the Hungaroring. Sorry about that. We got there in the end. we did get to see the replay. Who wants to take this restart, though?
Obviously, can take it.
All right, mate.
I
Okay.
cursed the previous one, so
Yeah, well, it's fine. We can deal with this. Sassano there in P1. Viney P2, Macintosh P3. Looking for the restart. Let's see when Sassano goes for it. Waiting to hear the sound of that Audi go. And he's gone for it. That was a very good start. Audi gets a very good jump off the start. Johnson there caught on. Got a really good start. Viney there, P2. Macintosh catching in P3. Johnson, Gafford there in the background. Not really seeing any moves yet. Bentley right around the outside. That's Baldwin going for an absolute send. Really good idea when you're around the outside. Try and get some positions. I think he's just gotten past. It's Gibbo by the looks of it. So we see Lambo on the inside there. That's Rashudi on the inside of Gafford, who's got the pressure of Smith right here, as we see on screen. And they've got Chewiett, and that looks like it's Jacobs, and then Washington behind. So very tight so far. Train of 3, 35 minutes to go still.
Yeah, so even this is a restart. Oh, we can see the 997 car is off. Drew Laird. Not sure how that's happened, but Chris Mitchell might have been involved as well. Might have to... Oh, as we come straight back into a big old tap between Juzzy and Holmes. Let's just take another quick look at what's happened here. So, yeah, just... Stewards might have a look at not too serious a damage, but positions lost are hard to be regained here. So Stewards will probably take a look at that one. Up ahead, big old gaggle of cars. So Sassano not really walking away, hard to in a reverse grid, but he's finding a little bit of space. Behind though, from Viney through to Eternity, and it's just one long chain, as you expect in the early laps. Ben Wright reckons the Honda took to the grass in that first start that caused the incident. On the inside, he might be right. Oh no! There's a Honda around here that's
There's
Viney.
a Honda. Has he just hit? Is that
that's Viney, yeah.
Gibbons or Jacobs that he's just hit?
I'm not sure, so he appears to be kind of on his own.
Did he
Should've-
get Honda tinged or he got tapped by
No.
Macintosh?
Just poked the nose in.
Oh, that's Jacobs that he's hit. That's Gibbo right there.
Oh dear. That hurts a little bit. Viney tap, it's in a really bad spot to get one. You race on. So Rashudi's got Chewiett's behind him. Chewiett's set a blistering lap time in the second quali. So he's starting to really get a great feel for the track. Showing he is capable of a lot.
He's had quite a bit of bad luck in the last couple of rounds as well. Always just wrong place, wrong time. So hopefully he can make it through and get up some places here.
Yeah, that's it. As we sit in the lap of Zach Smith. He's trying to have a run on Gafford. He came second last race, and he's thinking that maybe if he can get through these next couple of drivers, maybe if first is on the cards, but they're not easy to get through. Although right now the Pro-Am podium is outstripping the Pro podium. Nothing doing just yet. Keep an eye on it. Let's having a look here.
Yeah, I was just about to point that out. Seems like a good old scrap down here as well.
Yeah, so Holmes has been pushed a fair bit down the order as a result of some of those incidents. Neighbour up ahead. It's doing everything he can to try and stay on the back of Washington. Washington's last lap looked a little bit scrappy, 147.3. It's not the pace that he'd like, but his battle's all over, so I'm not sure exactly where it has cost him. How you guys feel that this little scrap might start to turn?
I've got a feeling Floyd will get past Neighbour pretty soon, probably, if not the end of this lap, probably coming into turn 1 if he gets the better run. I think Sweet's going to try and drag Holmes along if there's a little bit of teamwork in here, which is always good to see. As Floyd ran the outside. Oh, he's not going to get it done, though. Neighbour doing a good job just defend that inside, but... Oh, Floyd looks to do it. Oh, this is not going to end. Oh, he backs out. That's the responsible thing to do. So might not have the run onto the straight. Looks to the inside. Neighbour's probably going to try and pull across if he can get that straight line. Doesn't look to be that way. So I think Floyd's going to dive him. Oh, scared him a little bit. Goes deep. So Neighbour did the right thing there. Scare him a little bit. Went deep. Now Sweet's going to capitalise. So I think it's now going to be Floyd's responsibility to bring Samwise up.
Yeah, nice work by Neighbour. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, just Juzzy in chat. So I'm assuming his mistake at turn 1 was a fatal flaw, as he's supposed to be in the race.
Yes, we've all been there and missed some brake markers, and that one is not one you want to miss. Yeah, it feels like Neighbour's he's kind of being respectful, maybe giving a bit more space that he doesn't have to give, and that's kind of giving Floyd and Sweet kind of an invitation almost. Sometimes you have to be more forceful in your defence to say, no, I will take my line, so that the driver behind knows that there will be no opportunity to just stick it up the inside.
Sherwood's next to duty there, but didn't quite put it off up ahead.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, hello.
That's Baldwin taking advantage. I think Sherwood had a bit of a compromise run out of the previous turn, and that gave Baldwin the impetus to go for this. Seems to have worked out well for him.
Question is what is going to happen here, because it feels like Jacobs is going to have a reasonable run. And Gibbons is just lurking. Kind of wants to follow someone through if there's an opportunity, and it's not really the opportunity that he was hoping for. Like, he'll take the positions, but that's not how you want to see it done. And it's unfortunate. So we'll continue on and see what happens. So right up the front, Sassano has not been able to walk away from anyone. He's got McIntosh with him the whole time. Johnson staying tight. Gafford involved. Smith. He wants more, but it's hard to get it. Oh, I can see Jacobs here dropping all the way down the order. That one hurts a little bit. Guys here being pretty civilised. Although Smith, oh, has to cut back on Gafford. Gafford does his defensive move, resumes to take his line. They get very close. They don't touch. Good. Shooting Baldwin behind it, also scrapping away. Almost feels like McIntosh. Yeah. So go ahead.
No, McIntosh was right up on him, but Sana got a very good run out of that final corner.
He did indeed. Ooh, Smith trying a bit of a half around the outside. Maybe later Apex doesn't really work that way. Just to slot back in. Let's have another look at what's going on with this. Neighbour continues to hold station. Keep Floyd and Sweet behind him. Chewy, it's snuck past Holmes.
What has happened to Holmes? When did he drop back? Ooh, that was a bit of a slide by Floyd. Well held.
I'm not exactly sure when Holmes lost that position. maybe into turn one. It's the most likely candidate, I suppose. You can see how tentative Neighbour has to be through that chicane in the Honda. Can be finicky at the best of times.
Yeah, it's not the biggest fan of curbs in general, and that one, especially those little, I don't want to call them sausages, they're more like lumps. They're quite aggressive if you hit them in ever so slightly wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Still, a little bit more space there. These guys at the front have not found any more space. Sassano, maybe a little bit more room. Was that more Macintosh has found a little bit more room? That one might boil over at some stage. I'm not exactly sure when, but we will see. Got this train which starts with about Parkin in 17th. He's got a good run of 4 more cars just in behind him. Van Dijk, Misson, Chalmers and Matthews.
So Matthews leading the AM at the moment. Mason in second, and Leonard Scott in third. Pro-Am's still running way up the top.
I see Viney's been given a drive-through penalty for collision on lap 1. So
That was for the stroll.
yeah, I think so. And Jacobs has picked up a drive-through, but I think that is a track limits drive-through. Yes, indeed. It's a 15-second for Pete Chalmers for causing a collision as well. See this scrap between Van Dijk and Misson going corner for corner. Chalmers very tight on it as well. Which I think, if you are Parkin, you are very happy to see it, because that's giving him just a little bit more room. What can these guys get done in this next main straight? This will be the next biggest opportunity.
Listen has a good run there, and the GTR is rapid down the straight, so seems like he should be able to get it done.
Yeah, hold it under brakes, and Chalmers was keen to see if he could follow through, and he might have just done it. Oh, and indeed he has, I think. He's closed that position off. He does have that 15-second penalty, but...
Opportunistic.
Yeah. If there's a window, go for it. Have another look further up the field. Maybe rid of this view from Chariot's. Sweet Floyd and Neighbour ahead of him. They have cleared Holmes by a bit.
McIntosh has dropped out of, he's in P15 now. So he must have had some rather significant drama from second.
Yeah, it must have only happened recently, just seeing that he's dropped down so quickly, I'm sure. It was in the last lap or so.
I need to step away for just a couple of minutes. Is there a car? Is there a battle? I can hover the camera over. Chuck it on Helicam. Who do you want to watch for a couple of moments just while I step aside?
As a team Bentley driver, I'd say Baldwin, Ricciuti. That battle up front is fairly close.
Easy.
Smith is there as well.
Let's go with that one, and I'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, right, mate. So we can see Ricciuti's trying to defend off Baldwin at the moment. See in front Smith. That's Johnson. I think that's also Sassano. So top 5 battles looking pretty full on at the moment. Gibbo there just lurking in the background, maybe waiting to, excuse me, pounce on a potential podium position. Baldwin so smooth through there. That's because Bentley, has to back off though on Rashidi. Nearly tapped him around there coming into turn, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, I'll maths that quick enough next time. Just nothing there through the chicane for the Bentley. See, Smith. If Smith can get past Johnson, I think Smith will be on for a race win here. So Sassano needs to take full advantage of this to be able to get away quick enough from Smith, because Smith will get past Johnson fairly soon. Maybe even now under brakes. No, he sticks his nose out though. It's what all the good drivers do. Just say, hello, I'm here. Put the pressure on you. Stick the nose there. And he's doing that very well. Might try and get him down the back straight, front straight. Same thing, whatever. Baldwin might try the same, but Rashidi's got a really good exit there.
That is the one corner where, for me personally, it felt like the Bentley is not that strong. It's just that final corner, getting a good run. I couldn't manage to do that. Through the middle sector, it's so strong and so easy. But that's the one place where I felt it was a little bit sort of lacking.
Yeah, it's the sort of information that you get when you've got commentators who also do Sprint Series, driving cars fast. You see Baldwin still just on the attack of Rashidi. Gibbo's closing in though. Still just keeping that gap. Doesn't want to get too involved at the moment, but he's definitely closing in. Johnson doing a very good job of defending Smith at the moment, just making that Nissan extremely wide. Not hard to do here though. The track is not... Oh, just sneaks down the inside. Yeah, well...
That was a very quick curse.
That was a very quick curse indeed. As Johnson goes a little bit deep there into turn 5. And Smith gets past now. Sassano is in big trouble because Smith is very, very fast. Goes wide. Smith's going to get him, I'd say, in the next lap or two, if not at the end of this lap, because he's looking very close. And Johnson wants to try and capitalise on this. Maybe try and look around the outside or something. Smith moves to the inside. Sees what Sassano's doing. Now Rashidi's going to get caught up. This is going to help Gibbo and Baldwin. So this is for podium positions here. These 6 drivers at the moment. So they've got a good gap to who's behind that is Jeremy Washington. They've got just under a 3-second gap now. That's going to close though if they keep battling like this. So there's Rashidi. Oh, he looked for it. He's going to try and get the better exit. Looks to the inside maybe. Nissan does have pretty good brakes. Yeah, Nissan's pretty good on the straights. Lambo, not too bad on the straight. Oh, Bentley forces Baldwin wide. Thought that Bentley was going to go deep, but Baldwin's very, very good driver, very quick driver, so he knows what he's doing.
I've returned. My apologies for that.
Hello.
What should I jump to? What do
stay here.
32?
This is top 6 fighting for podium.
Well, hold on.
Oh, hang on a second. What's happened there? I'd like to see that, please.
This is Corey Sweet.
Oh, we got a kiss. Ooh, that's Chewiats, I think.
Oh, yikes. That's unfortunate. Does at least get it pointed back around, and he'll get back out on the race. All right, so we're staying with...
Sorry, no, if Sherwitz doesn't get a penalty for his previous little love tap on Sean Jacobs, I'm sure that would do it.
That's it. Oh, and I can see in the background car 214. That's Girardi has also been sent. I think he's just had to go back to the pits. But Smithy thinking about a dive up the inside. That would be brave.
It's been a fairly resolute defense by Sassano so far.
Yeah, he
Not,
did very well.
Caving on the pressure so far.
Yeah, especially in the Audi, which is just a little bit precious sometimes at a track like this.
You know that a thing is just around the corner if you do anything wrong. So.
That's it. Feels like Smithy might have to wait. This is not the lap to send it into turn 1. Although Sassano did run a bit too wide. Smith's getting alongside, but he is going to have the outside line, which is probably not going to work. Indeed, Sasano can retake his apex. You really see Smith is setting his car up every time to find a spot where if there's an opportunity, he will be ready to go. So he'll look and see, maybe you run a little bit wide off the apex. He would have been ready to pounce on that. Hasn't happened. So set up again for the next one. Do you get what I'm saying? Is that, or am I just imagining things here?
No, I agree with that.
No,
He's definitely
sounds about right.
positioning to line up for any small mistake that Sasano may or may not make.
He's just trying to stick his nose in there. Just builds that little bit of extra pressure, gets a bad exit,
run.
so here goes Smith. This is going to be it, maybe. No, I think he holds back. Oh, no. Ooh.
There was some Bentley on Lambo violence.
Kiss from the Bentley there. I think Baldwin needs to just let that one go back to Rashuti. It was a bit of a last-minute sort of tap. There we go. Chewiet's got a penalty. 15 seconds for that collision. Oh, 6 laps ago. So I think that's the one you were talking about with Jacobs. So you'll probably see another penalty coming for that one with Sweet. You see Sasano doing his best. Yeah, Baldwin sent it. That was very well played. He may get a penalty though for that tap with Rashuti if Rashuti has reported that to the stewards, but that's for us to find out later on. Just under over 10 minutes to go. He did redress, but it's funny that you say that because even stewards are pretty strict. Even if you do redress, you will still be penalised, which is it's a fair rule. You know, you don't have to redress. If you do, you're still highly at risk of getting a penalty. So it's just what happens if he does get a penalty, then the stewards have been not very lenient. Sometimes the stewards may be lenient, but you know, it is of course up to the stewards, so we just leave it to them. They do their thing as Sasano does his thing and nearly goes off the track completely. As Smith's just, I think he's being a bit too patient actually. He needs to try and get past as quickly as possible to go around the outside. Oh,
Squeeze?
Sasano's going to squeeze him wide. This is going to be it. Here we go. So, oh, bit of a tap. But that's wheel banging racing there. I think Smith has gotten past at a crucial time because if he'd have stayed there any longer and Baldwin had gotten past Johnson, he'd have been in a world of pain. So, good time to get past there for Smith. Now into the lead he goes. Baldwin now is going to look for Johnson and then aim for Sasano, but of course it's only one driver at a time. I wouldn't be diving 2 drivers if I was him. Just going to look for that exit. Oh, as Johnson nearly puts himself into the back of Sasano. Baldwin might pull his car out here. He does, just to let him know he's there, but good racing as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. I might split around just for a moment. But look at how Verdi's doing. It's just on the back of Parkin, and importantly, he's just been promoted from the M class, and he is clear of the M class. So,
He is.
a very worthy promotion. Notice that they're getting very close, as is Powell on the back of Holmes as well. It's an interesting one to check in on. Might have a look at that in just a moment as well. These drivers doing well. Parkin doing a very good job holding P17 in the Jag. Not necessarily the strongest vehicle around here. There is still, we do still have 30 cars. Oh, 2 of them are in the pits, so 28 cars running. Still quite a big split. He's doing quite a good job.
Floyd is right on the back of Kafua as well.
Oh, that is a good catch. Yes, because
This
Wait,
is
right
just,
on the back of everyone.
This is just... This train is just becoming huge. This is... What's this? P1,
Nine.
probably P2 now. P3 to P9 here with Floyd, who's going to look to the outside of Gafour, who defends the inside. Has to try not to tap around. Who's that? Johnson, who's jumped all the way back to
Baldwin.
P7 there, so something's happened.
Yeah,
Baldwin just
and
grabbed
Johnson
Rashidi.
must have had something.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he
Baldwin
was
plus
ahead of
Rashidi.
Rashidi 2 laps ago. Oh, that's
Ooh.
Johnson.
What's happened there?
There's a big-
little bit of a tap there.
There's a big tree in the way here on his camera angles, so we're going to have to go this way. So he's got Gafour, I think, behind him. Oh, he did.
Yeah, a bit of a tap there from Gafour. So it's a bit unfortunate that that's happened. Gafour didn't quite anticipate him under the brake. So now Rashidi P4, Baldwin P3. He's going to have to start getting a move on. He's 4 seconds from Sassano. Just under 10 minutes to go now. So the question is, can Baldwin catch Sassano?
And it feels like Sassano's actually... Well, Baldwin last lap was 148.6 because he's just gotten past Rashidi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
This-
even a 48, there must have been
Yeah,
I'm
something
going to say there must have
between
been
him
some
and Johnson.
incident,
Yeah.
maybe.
that's a good point.
So maybe that was the incident with Johnson. Maybe he's going to get penalised for that, or maybe Johnson may have turned him or something. So we will just have to wait and see when the penalties do start rolling in.
Car 140, that's Jason Leonard's got currently in P24, has picked up a 15-second penalty for a collision on lap 13. So not sure we caught that one. Oh, head. Gibbons. He is lurking. Gibbons is always there. Ready to grab a position. We'll see. Indeed. Staying tight to the back of Rashidi. One of those ones, it feels like, just looking through some of the lap times, he's probably got slightly more pace, but slightly more is just not enough. Diebols is absolutely correct. Smithy is flying now that he's been unleashed. With 143.797 was his last lap, which is a fantastic race pace time. And I think it will get a bit better. Well, his tyres will be getting a bit weary. Pingu's asking what the best car for this track is. I think you guys have said it's the Bentley.
It's the
Ferrari?
Ferrari or McLaren, actually.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bentley's up there, but I think this is one of the more... I think it's one of the more balanced tracks on
From
this
the-
POP.
The stats I saw said Ferrari,
Yeah.
McLaren and Bentley pretty much tied, and then Lambo is also up there.
Yeah.
There's no particularly weak cars here, which is quite nice actually.
Wow, Baldwin just sneaking past the Sano there without us even seeing. Just making that look nice and easy. Just sticking, had his nose in there still. Sassano made the mistake and Baldwin just said, yep, thank you.
Dr. Hardy
Don-
says Mercedes.
Yes, no.
That's a tough one. I think the Audi's very sensitive, but the Audi also rotates very nicely. So sometimes too nicely. Just through some of the twistier sections, it picks up what it loses in some sensitivity, if that makes sense.
Sometimes it rotates when that is not what you want.
That's true. That's true.
And that's the definition of an Audi thing.
That's it. It looks like we've just missed Holmes grabbing a position, I think. Oh no, he's defending against Nissan. Johnson is another Nissan ahead. Somehow, Samwise always finds himself defending.
10-second penalty for Baldwin.
Ooh, that's in P2, so that's big. So that's for a collision on lap 16. What lap are we on right now? 18, so it's just a couple of laps ago.
So that's either Johnson. That would have been Johnson. must have been.
Johnson have to be.
Don Tuwadi got his
Congrats.
first win with a Mercedes. Congratulations, mate. Sorry, did I just pip you to that one?
No worries.
Oh, Sean Madison says the GTR is the best. He did put in.
No,
he put in a great
false.
run.
Yeah, he put in a great run, but that's false. That's just false information.
I think you'd want to ask Ashlyn Reynolds about
I was
that.
going to say, you want to ask Ashland about that one? I don't think he'd agree.
Based on what I saw from my point of view, he didn't enjoy turn 3.
Yeah.
Swings and roundabouts. Ooh, I think Home's gone too deep. Miston's going to take that position. He does. He's ready for the mistake, and he's taken it.
I have to say, in the last 3 weeks, including this week, that's about the first mistake I've seen Holmes make while defending. He's been so good on defense.
He is indeed. Doesn't really lose that much time doing it. But, it does add up, unfortunately, sometimes.
Madison, if you say the Honda, then we're definitely gonna have to get you some psychiatric help.
No, I agree. I think it's the Honda.
So you need some you guys can go for some couples counseling, then, pretty much.
Yeah. Nah. Honda's a very good car. If you're going to say it's the Bentley JP, that's just...
Yeah, I mean, the Bentley is good. It's nice and balanced, but I won't say it's the best car. I just know it's not the Honda. That's pretty much my point.
Well, that's a bit rude. I think you find it is more likely to be the Honda than the Bentley.
Agree to disagree.
This is a debate that
I'm
will rage
right.
on.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
I
clear
would,
that
I would
Jag-
agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. So that would be a problem.
Yeah, right.
Well, next season, we're going to see the Lexus lovers involved.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Lexus if the rules that have been stated as a preemptive thing do stay as they are. But we'll have to wait and see. Information will be coming out soon, I do believe. So we'll hold our breaths for that. See how it will be planned out, waiting to see what the tracks will be. I'm very excited to see what tracks have been picked for the season.
Snetterton, Brands Hatch, and Alton Park.
Mate, I'm all about that.
On repeat.
I would do that. I would do that season. So it's worth pointing out, Sassano has been caught back up by Raschuti. There's only 3 minutes left to go. He's currently in provisional P2 with Baldwin's 10-second penalty hanging over him. He just needs to hold on. And he's been holding on, and he's been defending this for so long. Can he do it? That is the question.
Baldwin will be egging him on to defend as hard as possible to try and bridge that 10 seconds gap.
And don't count out Gibbo now as well. So he knows right now he's in P4 with that 10-second penalty. He'll still be inside that window. Another podium is just one place away.
6.6 seconds for Baldwin, and there's 2 laps to go. I think he might be able to pull this out, which would be quite a feat because he only overtook him about 4 laps ago.
He is doing about 2 seconds a lap. He might just have enough time. Yeah, no, you're probably right. A 1:43.2 was Baldwin's last lap, and a 1:45.7 was Sassano's. It's 2.5 seconds indeed, that lap.
Yeah, definitely going to be pushing now, knowing that gap's there. I think still 2 laps to go, so I think Baldwin, he can just keep this calm. He can keep that P2. Sassano's going to have to defend Raschuti. That's going to slow him down. That's going to slow Gibbo down. That's going to slow Washington, Floyd, Gafford all down. So Baldwin's in a very good position. Let's see what the split is coming over. 7.7, so not really much of a difference. But once Raschuti starts piling on that pressure, that's going to cause Sassano to really slow down and defend and make that Audi 100 times wider. So I think Baldwin, if he really wants this, he's going to have to go for it, because once Raschuti gets past, it's game. It's game over now.
Oh,
It's not
Or
done
maybe
yet.
not.
It is hanging it in there.
Oh, bit of a tap. I think that's fair. Sassano tapped Rashidi wide, so I think that's fair game unless the race director asks him to redress that position. I think that's fair. There's the Merc BMW outside. That's Gibbo and Washington. Washington looking around the outside. He's going to get the dive on the inside around turn 13.
I didn't want to give him the room.
Ooh, can he get it done though? Because Gibbo could have the inside turn 14. Does get it done. Final lap, as you hear, for the leader. Baldwin is absolutely flying. Just cut 7/10 out of Smith there. So he's on a roll. Let's see where Rashidi is.
It was
9.8, so he's nearly done it. Baldwin just needs to hold this together and just keep that pace up, and he will hold that P2 even with that penalty, which is just an unbelievable feature.
Very tight to the end. So Sassano knows P4 is about the best he can hope for at this stage. Just needs to hold on for a little bit longer. He's got the Pro-Am podium and then some, although Gafford is just in the back there. Now Gafford has a 10-second penalty, but Neighbour doesn't. So a couple of the other Pro-Am drivers involved in this scrap. Even Johnson's not too far. No, Johnson I think there's a big gap from Chewitz.
Speaking of Pro-Ams, Bendik had gotten past Parkin, so he's moved up one place and he'll gain another based on the penalties, so he might be 5th in class in the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, it's a great promotion week. He just needs to stay within 15 seconds of Chalmers. Chalmers on a pretty good pace, but Bendik was 1/10 quicker last lap. It's about all he needs.
Be interesting to see whether Rashidi's actually eating some time out of Baldwin or not. Baldwin's catching Smith though, so it's looking unlikely. 10.7, so I think Baldwin's managed to somehow pull this out. We thought 4 laps ago that wasn't possible, but it is. And now, Washington was going to go for it, but he has to back out. Oh, but he's going to get a podium on the final corners. Is he going to do it? No, he's not, because it's not podium me. Well done. I'm a fool. I got excited, but
it looks like
still
Sassano's coming back
to the line. Drag to the line.
Oh!
Second.
0.006. Well done.
0.006. Well
What a finish.
played.
I think Sassano is going to need a bit of time to dwell over what just happened. There's a couple more battles still going on. Corey Sweet is trying to chase down Power, won't quite get there. Stuart Matthews is on the back of Parkin to the end. A couple of corners left to go. It's still possible, although it needs to be one hell of a run.
Yeah, Parker needs to make a mistake here for Matthews to get past into the top 18, but Bilko doesn't make that mistake, and so 19 Matthews will have to stick with. As Jacobs looks to the inside of Mason's going to get it on the... he had it on the final corner, I thought, but Mason's just going to drag him to the line, maybe. And he does.
Mahoney and Lawson, this pair's all the way down the field. Anyone else? No, I think all the rest of them have avoided each other. So Leonard Scott does have a 15-second penalty, but will come across the line in P24. So unfortunately he'll drop a fair bit further down. Last across the line, I think, will be Clayton. No, Frustock. See, comes through. So there we go. Final results. I hit this one and this one and this one. We'll be able to see it there. So Smith, well done to him. Does take that win from Baldwin. This back again.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And again.
Pretty sure if that was the M4 with that massive grill, the M4 would have been in front there. If for Washington.
You might be right. Yeah, 600th between 6,000th between Sassano and Washington is outstanding. Really great drive by Sassano. Defended really well and cleanly, not making any major mistakes. And for his reward for his efforts, he is rewarded with a Pro-Am win and a 4th overall over Neighbour and Johnson. In the M class, it's Matthews over Mason and Fowler. Some good racing, a couple of incidents up and down the order, but nothing too dramatic, apart from the safety cars, I guess. gents, takeaways from the night, MVPs. What do you reckon?
I'd have to give. Well, I mean, Smith and Baldwin both obviously great drives in race 1 and 2. But Washington
Yeah,
deserves credit for getting that lump that high up the grid.
yeah, I think I agree there. Washington, Gibbo again, another great performance. Johnson really good, just got tapped around there by Baldwin, which then gave Baldwin that 10-second. Didn't do much to him, nearly lost P2, but yeah, I'd say Washington.
Yeah, it's a fair go. Sassano for that race through the night. It's hard to say. There's been a lot of great races, especially and for being involved in a last ditch drag to the line and holding it off. I think that's outstanding. Either way, it is time for us, I think, to head off. Thank you very much, everyone. Once again, thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. We'll look to catch you all. We'll look to catch you all next week for the final week of the regular series.
Don't forget to click like on the way out.
That's it.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.